Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. Happy born day to myself. But what we're going to do is we about to share this out with everybody. We're going to get everybody in here. We're going to get everybody in here because we got some breaking news. We're going to break this down, and the floor is going to be open for people to jump in and have that conversation. You know what it is. You know how I do, and you know how I move. I'm going to move how it's supposed to be. A lot of dudes ain't going to move like me because, you know, a lot of dudes aren't willing to confront what it is, you know? Let me get this part there. Yeah, a lot of dudes ain't willing to confront what it is. Hold on. I'm sharing it out to everybody, so give me a second. What's going on? Blessings, everybody. Pack it in. Pause. Pack it in. Y'all can hear me, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Got up, got doing what I got to do. You know, a lot of people ain't going to do what they got to do. So I'm going to do what I got to do. Tell the truth, shame the devil. A lot of times, you know, there's rumblings that go on. And people don't confront them. A lot of dudes want to act like they're prophets to a situation. They're not. Blessings. Blessings to each and every last one of you that's pulling up right now. I'm just sharing it out to Blue Sky. Please, everybody get a chance to share this out. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you got a problem with people that's not doing like, you know, how y'all like it, I'm talking about making videos and doing stuff. They not moving like how you want them to move. Don't give them no views, bro. Don't give them no views, bro. This is the year we take back our power, right? Now, after I get enough of you dudes in here, someone needs to figure out if it's management or what. We're going to get to that. But the fit is cool, right? Got on the linen on the day, you know. Keep the sun out the eyes. Keep it high. We're going to get into that. Blessings, Web Dave. Blessings. One of the nicest people in the world. But before we do anything, let me see how many we got in here. Hold on. Let me see how many we got in here before I go up. Get into that. Blessings, Web Dave. Hold on. All right. We about to. Nah. A lot of y'all think, yeah, Phil got a lot of, you know, got to be held to accountable for a lot of stuff. Phil got to be held to accountable to be accountable for some stuff. Let's share it out. Everybody, if I can get at least 10 of y'all to share it out right now. We live right now. And then I'm going to whatchamacallit. I'm going to go hit that intro. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know how we move. We're about to break their backs. Because right now they think they got us down, right? Well, all right. Let's get this part. Let's get it.
What's a man or a king? What's it saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but you what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs live. Fast talking, no wriggling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much make it a portrait. Gun kick back, knock grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's it saying? Advancing the
voice to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. Now, this is a very special day. Yesterday was my son's born day, and today is mine. That's crazy, right? 2 cancers in the building. My son, yo, I swear, I mean, you know, all my sons look like me, you know, but like different variations of me. Then I showed them pictures of me when I was younger, which is crazy to them. They all gravitated to the flat top, which is wild. I didn't have no flat top when they got a chance to see me. That's insane, right? That's insane. They didn't get a chance to see that, but they gravitated to the flat top, which is strange within itself. But they all got that wiry frame that I had when I was younger, and then you can see different evolutions of them, which is bugged out. Like seeing your essence in other beings is crazy because you get to see yourself at different stages of your evolution, and you just try to impart a little bit of knowledge in them. It's the most gratifying thing that you could ever have, right? It's the most gratifying thing that you could ever have because, you know, as people was calling me, you know, my son was with me. We, you know, anytime he's out of school, my youngest, anytime he's out of school, he goes with daddy to work. We go to work and I'm building with him and talking to him about what life is and what stuff is. And he got a chance to see a lot of stuff manifest right in front of him. Like I was just saying some stuff and then some other stuff hit and he was just like, it was good to see that I'm not talking out of my ass. And then he understands that, oh, okay, you know, my daddy is living factual in this premise. And it's good. So a lot of times y'all got a chance to see this Sunday on Iron Lord's podcast, which was nuts. Yo, dudes, I think we had different arguments going on at one time. You know, you had some people that was upset that I was praising the game after 4 hours in. I wasn't praising the game per se. What I was praising was the Kojima's willingness to take the knowledge that he has and give it freely. Now, that's what he has is years and years, thousands of dollars, hours and hours of teaching. And what he did was literally this, and this is why I say he's a national treasure. We got to protect him. A lot of stuff that he was saying, what put in the game, him not saying per se, him putting in the game shouldn't be there, right? It shouldn't be there for the simple fact those are offenses that can actually, you know, people trust me when I'm telling you, unaliving because of the information that he's giving. Now, some people are going to say, well, King, that's hyperbole. Well, going from what I saw and knowing the symbols is, put it this way, having somebody that knows Egyptology, right? And they go into the pyramids and they get a chance to see the hieroglyphs and they can decipher the hieroglyphs, immediately their reaction to something is crazy. Now, take that one person that knows about hieroglyphs before they go in. Now, then take a person who studied hieroglyphs for like 10 years and understands hieroglyphs. Now, the person that studied it for 10 years and knows everything about hieroglyphs because they studied for 10 years, that's well versed, right? That's one of those people that you would, oh, that's a doctrine of this, that, and the third. So he comes to that synopsis of what it is. Now, let's say the person that knows about hieroglyphs and everything, but didn't study for the 10 years that this guy does. He came in and was in there for 40 minutes and said, oh, this means this means that means this, and I understand this. That person that understands it for 40 minutes should not be discounted because he didn't study for 10 years like that guy did. He just happened to get the information and understands the information. Blessings each and every last one of you that's showing up. So that's what my conversation was. So people was upset with me that I was bloviating about something that he did that yo, you're not supposed to do. And he's doing it with reckless abandon. And I said, damn, this guy is not the holder of knowledge, because people in his position that actually have knowledge withhold it from people and don't give it freely. So that's what my conversation was. And then, listen, the dumb, deaf, and blind are going to move how they're going to move, and they're going to try to deter you from actually seeking knowledge. That's why I don't like when people are in school and they call you a nerd and stuff like that. It comes from that culture. You having understanding of what a math equation is, and somebody in the background that don't have that same understanding looks at the math equation wrong, right? And the person that has understanding of the math equation solves it, but then they get shunned for understanding exactly what they're saying. So that's what I mean. I just mean it by that. And I think that he's a great artist in using his chosen medium to give you knowledge of self. And that's a beautiful thing. Anybody that uses their art to do that, that's wonderful. And I truly appreciate it. I clowned on the game before that. I am willing to bend a knee at any time. I clowned on it calling it throat baby. I clowned on it saying that it was a UPS simulator, package delivery system simulator. I clowned on it in so many different ways before I even played the game. Now, somebody that is going that, and that's ignorance. Before you got a chance to play the game, that's a level of ignorance. So when you do get a chance to play the game, do you still stand on ignorance after you see some stuff, or do you actually reframe your train of thought, come back as a man, admit you're wrong, and move forward? I do that part, opposed to standing on ignorance, double down on stupidity, and then try to look smart in the face of stupidity. I'm not going to do that. That's not ever going to happen. Now, we're going to get into the topics of what's going on. We're going to get into the topics of cancellations. We're going to get into topics of how many people, the sheer volume of people that are being terminated is astounding. Is astounding to me, and it's across the boards. Blessings, Sinister, my brother. B. Lou, member for 11 months. Laugh out loud, King. I love how you and Cog through NOG into knowledge is all right. Yeah, there's blessings. blessings. Yeah. We're always gonna keep doing that. Our platform is to drop gems here and there for people. Our platform is each one teach one. Our platform is the elevation of everyone around us. The keeper of information is not going to happen. We're going to get into Xbox being dead. We're going to get into that. And then we're going to open up the conversation if people want to jump into Discord and want to discount anything that I say or want to have an opinion on something. Because I'm telling you, on my birthday is kind of like a smack in the face. But knowing that this was a short week, I kind of knew that it was going to happen today or Thursday. People have already flown out. And what Microsoft was trying to do was catch people before they go on vacation. Even though the internal email went out. Legendary Yobi, member for 10 months. Soldier X rank, I salute you, Soldier. Happy birthday to the modern day legend. Always supplying us with knowledge and always steering us community in the right way. The strong way, authentic. Blessings on God and them. We're going to get this done by any means necessary. Before it's all said and done, we're going to talk about it. You're not going to get no Soft Talk Sunday here. Shout out to my boy, Big Fat Eli, a member for the channel for I don't know how long. I think since I started it. With the $15 super chat. Now, his $15 is different because you got to tell me your currency. Happy birthday, brother. Looking sharp. Enjoy your born day. Blessings, of course. Yo, Eli hit me in the DMs. We chat, and I appreciate the people that are pulling up. Those are people that definitely hit me up early on. So, like, in the astounding amount of people that got laid off. Now, I want to tell you something that bothered me the most. I want y'all to see this, and then I want y'all to know and let me know if this one hurts you like it hurt me, because the rumor in the streets is that this right here is gonna hurt me. This is the rumor. This is the rumor in the streets right here.
target is in possession of a radioactive device. Stop Carrington's attack at all costs. Good luck, Agent.
I always knew I had an instinct. I could see the world differently. I thought it would be like any other mission. I was wrong.
Welcome to Garden City, where it's a pleasant 23 degrees all day, every day.
How far to his last known location?
Local forces are also tracking his whereabouts. You need to find him before they do.
I'll have to improvise.
Generating voice print.
افتح ارسل واحدا آخر. اختبر البوابة بحسب. What readings are you getting?
We are getting odd readings from your monitor. Can you confirm?
I'm looking at the screen right now.
Our intel places Carrington on the second floor.
And the life we think we know turns out to be a lie. There's only one way forward. Find the truth. Scan's clear. I'm going in blind.
Carrington!
Damn it! Analyze. What am I looking at here?
Carrington appears to be targeting a research facility. If he attacks it, the casualties could be astronomical.
Agent Stark, it's a pleasure to meet you. I could use someone with your skills.
To lose everything before I could see. What this world was really hiding.
I hope you're ready, Agent Dark.
Are you all seeing this?
Once you open this door, there's no going back.
I got to read that all over again. I know y'all telling me I'm muted. I got to go back. Okay, let me go back to it. All right, RDJ with the $10 super chat. Happy birthday, King. Was looking forward to Perfect Dark. Now, when I came back, I said we will not, and I muted myself so the trailer could be heard. We will not boot anybody that's not being disrespectful out of here. So moderators, do not throw anybody out who's not cursing somebody, being disrespectful in a manner that's talking down on others that's in the chat. Other than them having their opinion, they can say Xbox is dead all they want. They can live on that. They can stand on that. They have the right to do that, because I'm going to tell you this. If PlayStation was doing this, and they have been doing some stuff, we're going to get into that, I will be walking around with a parade. So when I'm walking around with a parade on their back, please do not ban these dudes when it's daytime to dance. Dance, monkey dance. Emmanuel J.A.1 with the $5 super chat. Happy birthday, King. I salute you, General. I salute you too, soldier. Big Fat Eli with the $6 super chat, confirmed by Jez, quoted by the shooter himself, Matt Booty. Big Mad Mo, member for 19 months, soldiers. V-Rank, I salute you, Mo. Happy birthday, King. Have a great day. Sucks what's going on. Can't cry over spilt milk. Just clean it up, and we'll see what happens in the long run. It's a very sad day. There's no person sadder than me on this day. We got sad people out there, right? But as the face of the dude that sits there, listen, I get a lot of vitriol. You know, you get out a lot of Xbox channels out there that get a little smoke here and there. You got Colt that gets some smoke. You got Boom that gets some smoke. You got On Point that gets some smoke. But ain't nobody gonna get more smoke than me. Why? Because I'm that dude that told you to hold the line, sit down, hold tight. ABK is coming through, and Xbox is gonna do what they do. I told you that deal is going to go through. Deal go through. We looking good. We eating good. Game Pass is looking fantastic, right? But the internal struggles inside the building. Now, there's other things going on, but that don't concern us. The other things that's going on that don't concern us is OpenAI. We don't care about that. See, Meta came through and poached a lot of people from OpenAI. Some high execs, high-paying execs. So they send dudes on vacation early this weekend. Now, they're still in a tussle with Microsoft. But I told you dudes, and everybody's not listening to me, and I told you what is our Antichrist, what is our problem. Our problem is AI. And I'm talking about our. When I'm talking about our, I'm talking about us in the industry. That's what's the crux of a lot of problems. But there was research that went out that said 24% of young people are not gravitating to video games. That's the heart of us. The heart of us is those 25%. So if you're looking at these metrics and they're all across the boards and they're seeing things for what they're seeing, there's no excuse for Perfect Dark looking in the state that it looked to be talked about being canceled. I don't care how you slice it. George Parcell, member for 18 months, Soldier X rank. I salute you, Soldier. Not a good day for Xbox. Very sad for Perfect Dark devs and everyone else who got let go. Happy 18 months, though. Blessings. Facts. Do you think that I sat there and I wanted the initiative gone? When Crystal Dynamics came in and dudes was working, Jason and them dudes that came through, we're going to do this. We're going to make this happen. Bro, I had hope beyond hope. When Bonnie Ross was there and dudes was dumping on Bonnie because Bonnie was running it a certain way and they kind of staged a coup. Listen, it's high noon for all Xbox execs. Older ones that's there, let me tell you what was going on. I'm going to explain. It's high noon for these dudes. It's the OK Corral. It's the last call. If you got an older Xbox dude that's been in Xbox, that's been there since day one, either they're not there or they're about to be up out of there. Right? Let me tell you why. And I'm going to tell you why. Lou Beggar with the $2 super chat. Mad respects admitting you were hating on, tooting hard on Death Stranding. Hell yeah. I was hating all over that game. You could put up the footage anytime you want. I told Brap, I gave Brap a personal apology on Twitter. I apologize. I told Brap he was capping. I calling him flip-flop and all that. Listen, a man could be wrong. I told you I got that 2%. I'm holding it, B. That's me. Pause. I'm wrong. I'm playing that game, loving it. The stream goes up. Y'all see me when I'm playing on Frontline Gaming streams. I'm playing Death Stranding. I'm not capping like dudes do. Listen, I'm going to be a dude that's going to admit when I'm wrong. I got some stuff to admit today. Y'all going to see some stuff that I admit today. Right? Was King wrong about certain people? We're going to talk about stuff today. Elemental P.O. with the $2 super chat. Happy birthday, King. Everwild and Perfect Dark. Hard. Bro. I can't really get crazy on Everwild like that, right? I can't do it up like that, right? I can't do it up like that, right? I can't, because I didn't know what the hell it was, right? I didn't know what the hell it was, and I can't sit here and cap for something I don't know what it is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know what Rare was making, right? I'm not gonna hold you. Boonty, $10 super chat. Happy birthday, King. Get a red stripe on me. Enough respect. Bo. That's my man. He's been there forever. Day one. Boonty. I remember when we had so many little people in the chat, like 10 people. Yo, for to have 100 of y'all watching me right now on some impromptu, y'all know I go 8:30 at night. Yo, but I'm not going tonight because obviously the wife is cooking and I got the mother-in-law here and she's cooking. And I had to break my fast today because my wife said, we ain't playing that. I done did some special things and we're going to get some stuff done, and they want to love on me and I'm going to let them do what they're going to do, and I'm not going to hold them back from their love and expression of gratitude towards me. So again, I prayed today, I meditated today, and I asked God for forgiveness, and I'll make that day back up. So next week, 5 days. Hold on. George Parcells with the $2 super chat. Happy birthday, King. Blessings. Yo. But I can't tell you what Everwild was. Can anybody tell me what Everwild was? I listen. Today is going to be a day of stopping and starting. It's going to be a day that I'm going to give you a show. Y'all going to get a show today. Y'all earned it. You deserve it. Y'all going to get it. I don't go live all the time, but when I do go live, you know, I'm going to give y'all exactly what others don't. They don't give you that raw honesty. They don't give you that real. Half the time they're reading off a script on some shit that they wrote up and they was trying to get together to try to tell you to make it more palatable because they don't want to lose sponsors. Shout out to my sponsor, Advanced GG, powering me with that green. That's that white grape for hydration on days like this. Why? Use code Iron Lords at checkout so you can get 10% off on whatever you buy. I'm not afraid. If a sponsor don't want to rock with me, after what I bring, I ain't afraid of that. You got dudes tippy-toeing, not wanting to disrespect or step on toes of some of the OGs that was out of pocket this week. We're going to talk about that. I have the same relationships that a lot of people have. They have a little bit more connections than I do. Why? Because they're willing to toe the line. And I'm not disrespecting them. Of course, you got to do what you got to do to get to where you got to get to. But I'd rather get to where I got to get to being me. Blessings, Hard Geek Shiny, my brother. My God, you don't know the angels you have in your life. And that's one of my angels. That's one of my angels. But let me tell you something. I want to know, by looking at this, who the hell know what this is? I want to know, who the hell know what this is? Before I get to roasting, who knows what this is?
Our world has a rhythm. We all sense it. But only a few truly feel it. It is found in the smallest moments.
I still don't know what the hell this is.
In every step of a perilous journey. In the symmetry of ritual. In the bonds we share. And in moments of stillness. It teaches us to look beyond the expected.
Nobody knows what the hell this is. Not a damn soul, B.
To be a light in dark places. To seek answers. And to stand watch over our world.
Yo, that art style is in Fortnite.
Our world has a rhythm. We all sense it. But only a few truly feel it.
Yeah, again, I still don't know what the hell it is. But let me give a shout out to my brother B Leaf with the Canadian $28 super chat. I salute you, soldier. Happy birthday, King. Hope you have a good one. You and your family and close friends. Blessings. We're going to have a big bash this weekend. And Killian Brown with the $2 super chat. Happy birthday, King. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know what it is. We're going to run it up on these bums. Brother, I'm afraid for the whole industry today. I'm telling you, internal metrics on things that I had. Oh man. I had man, hold on. Stop that. I had internal metrics of only 2,000 people being laid off. Internal metrics of only 2,000 people being laid off. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. If anybody is watching, understanding, man, you don't know. See, this is, I was talking to my son today. I gotta break protocol real quick because I had somebody that's very special leave a message. I got to break protocol. I told my son today, I said, a measure of a man is how well he leaves a woman after they're no longer together. See, the impression that you leave on that person that you told that you love them, that impression that you leave, your character, maybe things didn't go right? But what you did was you stood tall in your principles and your character stood strong and you treated them with the utmost respect. Maybe it didn't go right. Maybe you did things wrong. Maybe they did things wrong, but maybe it just didn't connect. But what you did was you left that individual better than when you got them. I said, that is what a man is supposed to do. You're never supposed to make a person that's significant other worse than when they're with you. And we had that conversation, and that conversation spilled into something else, and it turned into some validation. That's what I was talking about earlier. And it turned into some validation from a random stranger that I do not know that showed this. It was just, we were vibrating on a different level, and we having conversation. Didn't know this man from a hole in the wall, but my son got a chance to see it manifest in front of him. And imparting that teaching on the youth, a kid, imparting that is invaluable knowledge because I didn't have that teachings when I was growing up. So anything that I did learn, I learned from powerful, strong men that was around me. My father was not there. So any woman that I have had conversations with, had a relationship with, if you've seen anything in me that was something that you valued, that was be me piecing me together, learning how to be a man from the great men that I saw around me. Me taking qualities of men, even from movies and TV shows and stuff like that. I grew up in a time where Archie Bunker, Ralph Cramden, a lot of these men were staunch, real men. But one thing they held above all was their wife. They always respected their woman. They always respected that. So I'm telling you, that is what I learned. And I learned that from many different teachings. So again, there's no excuse if you're going to tell me you don't have a father in your life and you don't know why that you treat women bad. You got to figure it out yourself. You better get good with it. But I just had to say that because I saw one of those beautiful things happen right now, and that is validation. Today's a validation day for me. And being who I was growing up from where I was at on a mission of where I needed to get to based on love and respect. Not the best person in the world all the time. But again, I try my best, right? So anyway, back to not knowing what the hell Everwild was. I didn't know what the thing was, right? So the fact that I'm finding out that Rare had lost 10% of the staff, right? We're gonna get into that because we got to talk about the stuff that I really hold true, that I love, that stuff that is missing, right? Stuff that is going away. I've always had a fear of Forza Horizon 6 and Forza Horizon 5 being what Forza Horizon turned into. Now, I know a lot of people was going to say, well, I looked at your gamer score, King, and you really, sometimes I don't play under that name, Be Easy B. Right? I just need you to be easy. Because when I do play Forza Horizon, I'm playing it. I mean, when I do play Forza Motorsports or Forza 7, Forza 5, Forza 6, when I do play those games are pretty much on a don't bother me mode gamer tag. Don't bother me gamer tag. What hit me the hardest, pause. And I know Perfect Dark really bothered me because there's no way that studio should be closed. And I got theories on why they're closing down the initiative. I got theories on why that game that we saw that looked so good is probably no longer with us, right? What does it mean? Are we shelving it? What are we doing with the code? What's happening with the code? What's happening with the code in the game? Because big companies don't waste money. So I want to know what's up with the code. Now, Everwild, I don't know what Everwild might turn into, right? It might turn into whatever the code might turn into whatever Rare is working on. But right now, Rare is working on Sea of Thieves. Now, could they be working on Sea of Thieves 2? Could Sea of Thieves 2 possibly be what they canceled this for? They didn't have to buy. The initiative itself cost a lot. Building a new studio out. Getting the contract workers. That was a shit show from the beginning. Right? The way Microsoft was operating in the beginning, getting contract workers to do the work, learning code, that was a shit show from the beginning. Right? Building it. They said the initiative was going to be the first quadruple A studio. You're the first one who never delivered on that promise ever. Ever. You did not put out anything. It's like being strung out on a date, strung along, never to reach that point. You never reach in third base, B. You never get in a home run. You never come in here. It's not happening. But I've talked about 2. I just got to talk about the last one. This bothers me the most out of anything. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you slice it. I don't care what your reasons for those other 2 games. I don't care about Everwild, right? And I'm not dismissing it. I'm not dismissing the hard work. Maybe it would have been dope, right? Maybe it would have been dope. I'm pissed off with Perfect Dark. I'm pissed off with, I like first person shooters. I'm pissed off with Perfect Dark. You know what I'm upset about the most? Having this conversation. Let's get it.
I know you're ready. You've got this. Let's tweak the car's performance for the next one.
I'm feeling the vibe, taking my time like deep in the maze, making my shine bright. Whoa, I gotta make it, I'm going sky high. Never hold back.
I think all that gameplay was real. I think all that gameplay from Perfect Dark is real.
This is my timeline.
I'm mad as hell. I'm absolutely mad as hell. I'm absolutely mad as hell. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a 10-pole title. That's a 10-pole studio. That one stings. Microsoft Forza Motorsports developer hit hard by Xbox cuts. Turn 10 is affected in a big way by Microsoft layoffs. Microsoft announced layoffs today affecting as many as 9,000 employees. Are you fucking kidding me? 9,000? Who are you replacing them with? Who are you replacing them with? And part of change is more than 70 people will be let go from the Forza Motorsports developer Turn 10 Studios, according to sources familiar with the situation. The cuts was made on a call from Microsoft HR representatives this morning and are hitting a vast majority of the studios. One source described the layoffs as leaving enough people behind to keep Forza Motorsports up and running. Managers at Turn 10 didn't discuss the project's plans on this call this morning. Microsoft didn't immediately respond to the request from The Verge to comment on the situation. Here's a list of other games that are reportedly being effective. Everwild, of course. Some MMO RPG named Blackbird that was supposed to be done by ZeniMax Online. Perfect Dark. Microsoft is canceling the new Perfect Dark game and is announced in 2020. According to internal memo from Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booty today, the company showed off gameplay during the 2024, and that was gameplays at the showcase, but at the time didn't provide a release date window. We know that they didn't provide a release date window. That wasn't the case. Now, let me get into why I think they cut the staff on Forza. And if I'm wrong, when I open up the chat for you to get in there, please calm me down then. Right? If I'm wrong, then please, when I open up the chat, please come into the chat and explain to me why I'm wrong. I think they cut them because they can't sell Forza Motorsport on PlayStation. I think, and you hear me. I think they cut that team down to continue the games of service for what they got on Forza Motorsports, because making a future Forza Motorsport, they can't make that game on PlayStation because they already have competition with Gran Turismo and they just don't really want to do that. Somebody said they predicted that they will take Forza Motorsport and infuse it with Horizon. That is the most idiotic shit that I've heard today. Let me tell you why it's idiotic. That is a whole different system built on a whole different premise. It's impossible. This ain't, okay, well, we're just going to take it and turn it off-road. No, the system that Forza Horizon from Playground Studios is made off of is a system of different intricate suspensions and all that other stuff. Completely different stuff. It's an advanced, different engine that doesn't play with the same engine that Forza Motorsports does. We did the interview with Forza Motorsports Turn 10 team. The head honchos. And I told them initially, because I played it, and I told them initially what I didn't like, what I did like, where they were going with certain stuff. And being a person that likes those type of games, those long, grueling games where you play for hours and all that other stuff, being that individual, knowing where they were going and knowing that they took a step back from Forza Motorsport 7, I don't care what you say. You can say whatever you want to say. Forza Motorsports took a step back from Forza Motorsport 7. In order to build on a new engine, and Microsoft probably didn't want to invest. They probably didn't want to invest. I'm just talking about the shit that hit me. The games that hit me. The games that I like, right? I'm talking about the games that I like that hit me, pause. I'm talking about them. I'm talking about pillars, right? You're talking about pillars. I'm talking about pillars. Let's talk about these pillars together. So, the mentality is, in my opinion, they could not sell it. So why continue with it? Can't sell it to them. So what are we going to do? How are we going to get by? Well, we could do Forza Horizon because it's going to sell over there. It's popping. Right? So they're going to make money hand over fist with 6. Based off the internal metrics of whatever the pre-orders were over there. And then they're going to turn that game around and sell it to the Switch 2. And based off of whatever internal metrics from that, that's going to tell you that how much money you can make from here, there, and over there. And then not discount PC. Money. This is where the corporate greed comes in. This is the stuff that they told me, King, be careful, B. Don't trust them. We're going to actually talk about, was Laura Fryer absolutely batshit crazy? Was she wrong? No. She wasn't wrong in her position of the brand. If you help build something and you gave your heart and soul, your mind and body to, because listen, I don't care how much people pay you. Your time is your time. You never get it back. Right? Your time is your time. You never get it back. So essentially, she got paid what she thought her time was worth, her value for her time. So we're not going to worry about that part. And somebody told me that she wasn't fired. Okay, bud. When you're in a salary position and if they bring something to you, they give you the option of taking a package and leaving, opposed to the alternate. Right? That's 95% how it goes. Lou Bagger with the $5 super chat. If your Forza take is true, and I agree with it, and if I can't sell on PlayStation, wouldn't that make Xbox reliant on Sony, and in turn Game Pass not sustainable? Nope. Let me explain. And I'm gonna get back to the Laura Fryer thing, but I gotta answer his super chat because he paid money. What they have built now. And this is when I tell you, when you build a pipeline, remember when I told you that they built a pipeline of those 4 games and that was a test thing? It was absolutely a test thing. We're just going to see how we can build this pipeline and get this money. That was absolutely a real thing. But from there, it's ignorance to believe that more games wasn't going. Now, is it the whole slate that everybody's talking about? It's kind of impossible for the whole slate to actually go over. So that's why I can stand on that, knowing that that's not really true. But when I'm telling you that the majority of the games, especially the games going forward, there's an internal metrics based off of what they can sell, where they can sell, and how they can sell it. It's not reliant on a position. That's the block I sell on. I'm going to give you a hustler's mentality thing. If I can't pitch weight on that block, right? Just saying. Then why is that product viable when I can do it every place else? And that's a good block. That's an earner. PlayStation is an earner. Are they relying on it? No, but is that a component to get to another place? Yes. It's an absolute component. Microsoft is reliant on the cloud streaming. They're reliant on all your data, monthly MAUs. They're reliant on your engagement. They're reliant on whatever sales happen, whatever happens in Game Pass. They're reliant on every nickel being sold everywhere. When I told you, if a nickel bag is sold in a park, Satya went in, you thought I was joking. You thought I was playing around. You thought there was a hyperbole. This is not hyperbole. I told you, be very careful for a person that wants the first piece of chicken and the last piece of chicken and don't care about the middle. When I'm telling you this, is that person is absolutely hungry. They want to be treated first and they want to be treated last. Right? Do you know why in your household your mother serves your father first, and if she doesn't, don't you trust me? A good woman knows serve daddy first, and daddy always get the biggest piece. Daddy gets his food. Everybody gets a chance to eat. And then she asks him, do you want anything else, dear? Are you full? Before she tells everybody else they can finish the food. That's what I'm talking about. So when I'm talking in those languages, in that language, I'm explaining to you, regardless to what Satya wants all. So is PlayStation a component? Yep, it's a component. Is it inside the deciding factor? Yep, I believe so. Because Forza Motorsports is a game of service. As a game of service, if you're watching, all the games of services will be available everywhere. If you're a game of service that can't be available everywhere, you are not of service here. That's what puts that in fear for me. That's the jeopardy that I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Now, getting back to Laura Fryer. Do I believe that what she's saying is true? She helped, she gave her time, she gave everything there. And in giving everything there, she said, that's not the brand that I came up from. Now, I'm not saying that maybe she's not jaded and upset in certain areas. Of course. Especially if you feel that whatever you made wasn't held to the standard that you left it. Especially you're going to have an extra bitter take on it. Cool. I'm not saying that whatever she says is invalid. What she says is very valid. You're talking from a position of being there and a position of knowing, but not saying that everything that you're bringing to the table is actually sustainable in this time. This time is a different time, right? This is the digital era where you don't have the internal metrics that they have. You're not privy to exactly what's going on and what's happening over there. You're not knowing that 25% of youth aren't going back to video games, and video games is looking at its crash. Remember when I told you guys that we're looking at an internal crash on what's going on with everything around us, and people was like, King, you're capping? I'm telling you for a fact, we're heading down that road. And I know you're going to say, well, King, what you told us that it will still be good. It will still be good because they're going to keep the bare minimum in place while placing AI in a place where it can actually work and be functionable. And now you're going to say, well, AI is not at that part. Your AI is not at that part. You do not have industrial level AI. You do not have access to governmental AI. There's a reason why Elon Musk went over there and still with the current regime that's over there. And immediately that little AI stuff that he had working on that was popping, all of a sudden went crazy. There's a reason why Gronk took a dramatic leap forward in his long language learning process. And that's just the joint that they give to the public. Do you understand what he has? So that's why he can come out in confidence and make this AI studio that is going to be fully autonomous and just make video games. This is the reason why he could say this. He can say crazy stuff like this. And y'all are saying, well, ChatGPT and Gronk ain't that strong like this. And the language models that we're paying for right now ain't as, you will never have access to what they have access to. You don't have access to AGI. You're not even close to that. Your level, your clearance ain't even that. Laura Lya didn't know what she was talking about at all. Those cuts will make Xbox stronger. Too many lazy devs holding back good games and good riddance. Emmanuel A1. I'm going to say this. There's a lot of good people that was lost in this sauce, right? Anytime you make mass layoffs, there's going to be a lot of good people that's going to be lost in the sauce. Will Microsoft be better? Yes. You know why it's going to be better? Because the AI that did the evaluated all those people lower than whatever the bar that they set. So if the number in the building was something like 75, and if you fell under that 75 and lower, probably like 74 and lower, then you were gone. No matter what. Then they put a value number on studios. When they put a value number on studios, then they go buy the studios and see exactly where they can make it more efficient. This is a time that we're living in. And this is a time that we're running in. Now, I know people saying that consolidation is the reason. No, consolidation had a huge part in this because there's a ton of redundancies that's inside the building. So when you have multiple AR departments and stuff like that, when you have multiple marketing departments and stuff like that, and when you have multiples of multiple people that don't need to be there, you won't. That's simple. I'm not saying that from a corporate standpoint, am I giving them an out? Hell no. 9,000 people are no longer working. Microsoft felt, and this is supposedly, right? Until I can get the hard concrete number, 9,000 is crazy. I'm praying in my heart it's the number that I thought was like 2. I'm praying in my heart it's 2. 9,000? No, please, no. Okay? No, please, no. Because that's going to affect the industry in a manner that Microsoft is a $3 trillion company. You don't think the $1 billion company is looking up to Big Brother to try to figure out what they're doing right in order to make their company the same number, the same metrics, a $3 trillion company? Elemental Pio with the $2 super chat. How was Crystal D affected by the Perfect Dark cancellation? Remember, they're per diem workers. They work on a project and that's it. Crystal D was never absorbed by Microsoft at all. They were never part. They had a key card. Their key card no longer works. That's how they was affected. Very simple. That's exactly how you were on loan from Embracer Group, right? Remember when I thought Microsoft was going to go and pick up their baggage that Embracer Group came and held for them, that they brought it on the low, and that never transpired? That kind of let me know who was in the building. And when they tell you that it's still acquisition season, what are you acquiring? Because you're not trying to acquire studios. King Henry the Ninth with the $5 super chat. Take him to church, King's blessing. I'm going to take him exactly there, and I'm going to baptize him. You're going to get baptized today in the word, and the word is going to reach each and every last one of you, because what you're not realizing, they're setting trends moving forward. That $80, remember, Nintendo approached $80, right? They said $80 on some games. B Leaf with the $14 super chat. Can we have an honest conversation about Matt Booty and if he's the right person to shepherd these days? It seems like every year he's always sharing bad news about the studio he manages. Let me tell you something about Matt Booty, and I'm going to get back to what I was going to tell you. Let me tell you something about Matt Booty. Have y'all ever seen me take a picture with Matt Booty? And I know you're going to say, King, pictures don't mean shit. All right, cool. Whatever. If you feel that way, that's on you. I'm everywhere with everyone talking about everything. My time, if I talk to Jeff Keighley, my time with him is very short. He has a Secret Service dude that's next to him on God in him. He will take you out. He got this little book bag, and I know he has that new slimmed down plastic ooh-wop bang inside that bag. I know. All right? Because I seen the Kevlar vest that he has on that is thin, like my tank top that I got on. And they sell them. My conversations with him is short and brief, to the point. But with a lot of other people, I have lengthy conversations. Now, I didn't have a lengthy conversation with Mark Cerny because Mark Cerny was leaving. Mark Cerny is a different kind of individual anyway. The first time I was going to have a conversation with him, kind of scary individual. Now he's a little bit more calm. But I guess in the setting that we were in, see, the first time we was going to have the conversation was at the PC Game Awards. That wasn't the best place for him because it wasn't really a secure place. Jeff's stuff is really secure. So a lot of the devs and people that are there, it's a secure environment. Only people that is on the end at Summer Games Fest will have that opportunity to have those conversations. So me personally, I had the conversation with certain people. But you never see me take a picture with Matt Booty. They always keep Matt here. Now, when I did get a chance to see Matt, and I could have had the conversation with him, we was already at dinner, and I just don't really care for all that stuff right now. I'm going to have my meal, and I'm going to recharge, and I'm talking with family and friends. Everybody else that was there, there's people that can verify this. And we saw him, do your thing, go do your thing, whatever. It ain't that serious. But him sharing bad news, he's the boss. He's the boss overseeing this. Remember the last person that was put in place over that, they didn't do a good job. His job is to trim the fat. His job is to make sure everybody is running efficient. Remember the 12 studios that PlayStation got rid of? Well, 12 live games of service. They don't even have 12 studios to get rid of. Remember the PlayStation with the 12 live games? Remember they had 12 live games? They all dead. Remember that? Where's the vitriol? Now, this is not about whataboutisms. Today is Microsoft Day. You PlayStation dudes dance, monkey, dance. Dance, monkey, dance. Get it. Get it. Do this shit dig. Show me your steps, man. Show me where you dance at. Show me where you dance. Do what you gonna do. Because I'm gonna tell you this, if this was reversed, I'm dancing all over your grave. So I'm telling you, dance, monkey, dance. Do it. Now, Matt is made to give you the bad news. He's to tell you that what they have working on. Sarah is to tell you what's going on in Xbox and talking about hardware. Jason Ronald will tell you about new hardware and what they have coming down the pipeline, and Phil oversees everything. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Phil has all the blame that he has to carry in this. And I know you're going to say, why you ain't calling him Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer? It's because at the end of the day, you're supposed to make sure that the man carry his name. He didn't lose his name based off of whatever he's done right now. He gained his name off of the deeds that he's done. So no way can I strip him of his name based off of this. He didn't do anything outside of the lines of the code and the directive that he was given. Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you about the old Xbox. Contrary to what you might believe, that the OG Xbox was a loss, right? It was a loss. It's so less than the consoles that sold right now, the series consoles that y'all calling a loss. It's so less than that. But then you had the Xbox 360, and y'all gonna say, that's my heyday. They rushed it to market to beat the PlayStation 3 to market. They rushed it to market, and they didn't fully check this thing, so the thing got there and started bugging out on people. Red Ring of Death, remember that? But it took Balmer in order to say, let's fix that up. Let's fix it for people, right? So those 2 generations where you thought that y'all was doing it, because I was there, I didn't think we was doing it. I thought it was the best though. I thought we was a hardcore rowdy group. Just because we the rowdiest and we can knock out the most people don't mean that we have the superior numbers. Because at the end of the day, the PlayStation outsold, and they last bus. History is history, right? So you go into the PlayStation 4. You had the wrong dude in charge at the wrong time, said the wrong thing, and that thing went left. The Xbox One was set up to win. Louse. So now you're looking at no generation has the Xbox beat the PlayStation. No generation. Standing on business, B. You may not want to hear it, but you're going to get it. You may not want to hear it, but you're going to get it. That don't take my love away. My love is here. It don't take that away. I know what she was when I got her. I loved her for who she was. She ain't need to have a BBL and get stuff done here and there. Nah. She's exactly who I want her to be at all times. But now she's acting a little strange because she's doing some stuff for some change, and I don't condone that stuff, and that's not her name. That's why a lot of people don't like what she's doing for fame, because right now she's chasing it, and fame costs. She's chasing it. she's chasing it. She hanging out with Sugar Duggar and them dudes, and it ain't good. You know why it ain't good? Because you get layoffs like this. You get turn 10 looking like, damn, we delivered a stellar game. But what was the impact? Because maybe it didn't sell. So what was the impact? The live game of service, what was the impact? Did it hit? Games ain't selling like they're supposed to. So we're going to get the loss. We're going to feel the loss. The loss is here. The day of reckoning is here, people. Now we're getting hardware. Now people is telling us that the hardware that we're receiving isn't the hardware that they wanted. Basement Radio Arcade with the $5 super chat. I salute you, brother. Happy birthday, King. Salute. Hope you have a blessed day. Brap, I want you to know, and I'm going to tell you on air, you was absolutely right about Death Stranding 1. Remember when you came on and we was clowning you and I was talking all that throat baby crap and I was telling you that the game was this and the game was that by the ignorance and not playing the game? Well, I salute you and I bend the knee to you, sir. I give you your flowers on this day because this day you have earned your flowers. And I said it before and I'm going to say it again. As a man, you cannot stand in your ignorance once you've been shown the light. So blessings to you. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, go watch Iron Lords to understand exactly what I meant with it, what I mean with it. Right? But this is no way me conceding what's happening, me telling you this. Remember Microsoft and Xbox first vision? Does anybody remember it? Because I know Bill Gates did. Does anybody remember them disrespecting Bill Gates, who put up all his money to get this console out the door, and they stripping down Windows to something that he didn't recognize? See, what Bill never wanted was proprietary hardware that locked out the Windows ecosystem. What he wanted was a PC in the living room. He's always wanted that. You know why? Because he wanted the PC to rule the living room. Now, maybe the technology wasn't there. And maybe the people that was working there, Laura Fry and them, maybe they had to do what they had to do in order to get it to the masses. Maybe they had to work in a way that kind of made sense. Maybe she bitter at the part that I hate Windows, and it's the problem that Windows had to be locked in some type of way that stifled us, because we could have beat that PlayStation. Because you got those dudes that's there, that's like that, right? Did she give off that energy, or did she give you energy that she liked PlayStation? Did she admire what they did, or did she hate them for beating them? Because two consoles that y'all put out didn't win, but basically because the Windows tie-in, right? So now you have a console that they're coming out with that they're telling you is a PC hybrid. See, because Steam would have never been born had they listened to Bill, right? Steam would have never been born in the way that it is right now. You don't think Bill is upset that Steam even exists in a manner that it does? That it has all the people? You don't think Bill needs to say, damn it, man, that was my original vision? Steam is Bill's vision. If that Xbox did what he wanted it to do, then maybe. You're talking about the man that financed the plan. You're talking about the man who put up his bread to make something successful. Now you back to source. He was always inevitable. He's the Thanos of this. You always had to come running back to him and his damn idea. Why? Because y'all thought y'all was smarter than Bill? Y'all thought y'all knew more? Because right now, Xbox is about to be Xbox/PC. Remember, we got a couple of memos the other day and it was saying Xbox PC, and dudes is like, nah, they has always had that verbiage. I was one of the dudes that said that. I've always seen that verbiage. Nah, that's nothing to worry about. Xbox is still the brand. Yeah, okay, Xbox is the brand. But I also told you I ascended, and Game Pass is the platform. Back to the $80. Back to the $80. So Microsoft takes $80 and tells you, see, Nintendo says, Some games is $80. Microsoft said, starting at the end of this year, all games $80. Starting with the Outer Worlds 2. Like it or love it, you're going to get hit in the mouth with this. Pause. All right, so they standing on business now, right? But if you want it cheaper, you can go inside Game Pass. 108 Dragon with the $20 super chat. Happy birthday, my brother. Love you all day. Blessings. Salute. Why you had to put that picture with me standing behind you? Suspect. You know I love you. Stop playing, bro. We going to movies on Friday. You can come through if you like. Me, Cog is going, and we going to the Mexican restaurant. It's gonna be midday. If you want details, hit me. It's nothing big. It was just a something, right? It's just a something, and we're gonna go see Jurassic Park. Okay, because I got to see Jurassic Park. I think today I'm gonna probably go see Megan. All right. But I want you to think about it. They're forcing everybody into Game Pass. Whether you like it or not, whether hook or crook, they're going to get their bread. They said, no more. No more taking losses. No more taking shorts. No more of us trying to please the people that don't give two shits about it. Because right now, media don't give a damn. You see people dancing on the grave? Yo, I can talk to you about PlayStation 5 Pro next year is going to have FSR 4. And I could say that. That noise is drowned out by the noise of the death cries of studios getting mortally wounded. Then the initiative. What was the initiative about then? The initiative comes up short. Where we at with it? What's the mentality here? I know what the mentality is. The mentality is to go to where Bill said we were going. They're going to Xbox PC. Make no bones about it. That Xbox under the TV, remember the first Xbox was just PC parts put together and slapped on. Operating system, boom, you got it. Remember, you was able to rip the CD music and play the music. You was able to do so many versatile things in the Xbox OG because it was off-the-shelf parts. How did we go from all the way over to 25 years? It took 25 years in order for you to remove the bloat out of Windows. Laura said something else that was very important. And I told y'all starting in October, Microsoft is going to force everyone over to Windows 11 or you're going to pay a fee. See, it's up. Progress is going to keep progressing. At the detriment of man, regardless to what, y'all going to get this work. Can I tell my son who likes to make games and who is going to high school now, we're sitting there trying to map out what his roadmap will be. Should you go into engineering in the sense of game development? Hell no. Absolutely not. I got to look at a 4 to 5 year plan for my son after graduating because it starts in high school. You start building your sets to get to college in order to know exactly what you're going to base your dollars and cents in. Because now you're paying for your education. If you're not fully funded, you're paying for your education. If you don't have a scholarship, you don't have any grants, and trust me, we're gonna overturn every rock to get him there. But I can't, in good conscience, tell him to go do that. Not when my industry is looking like this. I don't even know what the industry looks like in 5 years. Is it truly run just by AI this and AI that, with a lot of people just seeing and going and making sure stuff work? Or are we in a time loop where everything is games of service? See, because a lot of free-to-play games can't make it because based off of the free-to-play games that's out there, but games of service, dropping a DLC, maintaining a game, having people running with minimum service, and just keeping the limited amount of eyes on a game moving forward, that seems to be the metric. That seems to be exactly what these companies want, and these larger companies that's trying to keep the bottom line for shareholders. I put up a post the other day that told you Microsoft will be maybe a $5 billion company within the next 18 months, but they lay off 9,000 people. And what did Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer say first of his name? What did he say? To make the company more agile and flexible. So what you were saying, it was dead weight? The people that was there was dead weight? They were holding you back from doing what you was doing? Because the games that I saw look decent. Now, I don't know what Everwild is, and I'm not going to sit here and cap for that, but I know what that Perfect Dark is. I know what I was looking for. I know I sat there on Iron Lord's podcast talking about Perfect Dark should be releasing around the time Indiana Jones. Nah, man, now it's not that. Maybe? Is it? What are you doing with the code? What is it turning into? What's happening? Because nobody wants a Concorde. But did Concorde scare everybody into doing something stupid? Cancellations? If it put the fear of hell inside Sony, what did you think it did to Microsoft? And they selling to Sony. They get a chance to see exactly what sells and what don't sell. They get a chance to see what's really going on under the hood. Somebody just told me Death Stranding, I don't know how true this is. Death Stranding 2 only sold 700 and something thousand. I think that's really good. I think that's really good, right? It only been out for a little while. So I think that's really good. It ain't even been a month yet. And dudes is like, oh, it ain't selling well. Twank, my dude. Yo, Twank be following me on TikTok. That's crazy. Twank, bless us with the $20 super chat. Happy birthday, King. Listen, we already met our goal with the banana suit. Saturday, you get the banana suit. Alex, it's up, baby. Bring your best. I don't think your glizzy suit better than mine. And I know damn well my banana suit gonna rock your banana suit. Pause. My banana better than your banana, on God. Pause. Banana suit is up. But I'm telling you, dude, and my banana suit is gonna be wild crazy. If you don't tune in on Saturday, you are bugging. Trust me. That banana suit is crazy. And y'all gonna say, King, you cheating. Yes, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And yeah, so what? Alex did it. I respect Alex. I like the stuff that Alex do. I laugh at the stuff. Him, Fatanga, and Mixie are probably the people that I love in this space the most because they're able to do things and talk about stuff that I don't talk about and do things in a manner that I don't do, but I really love all of their work. And it's admirable to look at people that are in your sphere doing things differently, and you can respect it and give homage to him. So yeah, when I put on that banana suit, yeah, I'm gonna tag you, Addict. Addict. It's Addict fault too. Alex, I'm gonna tag you. But my fear and trepidation is that this industry is got gun shy. Right? If it's not a game like South of Midnight, where it doesn't cost too much and it makes its metrics, and then you're able to parlay that all over the place, and it's able to do what it does inside Game Pass and makes the sales. Hector the Macho Man, the $2 super chat. Happy born day. Blessings, Hector. I'm about to open the chat up for everybody in a second because I do need civil discourse telling me, yo, King, you're wrong. What I won't never be wrong is Mikey Barrow. That's where I won't be wrong at. Let me tell you something. Somebody told me, and it was a joke, and it was a hilarious joke, and I don't find it funny, but I find it hilarious, if that makes sense to you, right? I don't find it funny, but I find it hilarious. They said Microsoft hates Mikey Barrow so much that they fired him once, and they went and brought the company that he went to fire him again. I laughed so hard. Elemental PO, the $2 super chat. Are we getting 3? Nah, you ain't getting the Nah. You are not getting that Borat. That's not happening. You could stop that right now. The banana hammock, that's a whole, I already told you what it's going to take for that. And y'all, we ain't doing that. We not doing that. Anyway, get that out of here. Stop playing with me. All right? Because there's wheels that's in here that might do something strange for some change. But let me tell you something. When I heard that, I was like, wow, that's crazy. But I think he does something like Prize Picks or something like that now, right? And not saying nothing from Mikey, who make way more money than me. But if I'm in this position, do I do better? I can say this. You can't tell Microsoft how to run a company if the company that you were running, they had to buy because it was going down. I'm going to leave that right there. Moi. Touché, pussycat. Touché. I told you today is going to be a day of reckoning. Some people's going to get hit with strays. Some people are going to get hit with dead shots. That was a dead shot. That was a dead shot, right? Don't forget, I know what you did last summer. Anyway, I'm going to open up the chat. I'm going to take this hat off because I got to put on my headset. And we're going to open up this chat. And listen, Lincoln is in the description. If you want to jump in, if you want to talk, have your thoughts ready because we're going to talk about this stuff. We're going to get into this. I'm jumping in right now. Now, the link is in the description. You can jump in. You can have the conversation. And you can talk to me. Now, let me make sure that this part is being heard. When they come in here, let me see if I can hear them. Let me make sure. Whoever jumps in, let me know. All right. He said, who put popcorn? Eternal the Gamer. Hey, Linda. Linda, you ain't going to tell me happy birthday? If y'all understand the joke, that y'all get the joke. Y'all get the joke. I'm not being disrespectful. It's a common little play thing that me and Eternal the Gamer has going on because Eternal the Gamer will forever be the eternal thorn in my side, and I appreciate him because he's who he is. Right? Ain't that right, Eternal? All right, so hold on. I don't know if, because Addict did this, right? Let me fix it because they're saying, let me see if somebody jumps in. If somebody doesn't jump in, then I'm just going to dead that part. If nobody jumps into Discord, all right? So, got to jump in order for me to have that conversation. All right, so you got Hector that's in there now. Hector, say something. All right, can't hear Hector. I got to figure this out real quickly. All right, boom. Let me get down to voice and video. Let me check this real quick. Input device. That's not the input device. Yo, you can hear me? Let me see the output device. Yo. Let me check that. Yo. All right, stop testing. I see it moving. All right, I don't know if Hector can see me.
Yeah, I'm here. My bad. What's going on? Happy born day.
You can see me? You can hear me, Heck?
Y'all can hear me.
I hear you. I see you talking, but I don't hear you. All right, hold on. Let me make sure this desktop audio is proper. Boom, 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 boom. Talk again, Heck. All right. Don't hear Heck. Jeez. We were doing a streaming earlier with Addict. So Addict had me change all my stuff around. Let me put this back. Talk, Heck.
Hey, mic check.
There we go. Got Heck. Got everything. We back at it. All right, Heck. Talk to me, brother. Let the people know what's going on.
First and foremost, before we talk about Xbox, let's get on you. Happy born day, King.
Blessings, brother. I appreciate you.
Man, blessings. It's a tough one, man. You know, but like you say, man, you gotta be loyal to something. You know, I love Xbox. I'm loyal to them. I'm not gonna sit here and go on Twitter and bash them and jump on the
The bash
the
Xbox.
bandwagon how everybody
Yeah.
else doing. The Xbox bashing, but we gotta keep it real with gamers, and this ain't a good look. Perfect Dark looked good, and then there's also Turn 10. It's like that's a main
Bro.
franchise that we
That
had
right
for
there,
years when we didn't have games or
bro.
anything, and y'all just
I heard Turn 10 last week Thursday. And the guy hit me and said, Turn 10, and I said, F out of here.
man, because it's like, come on, it's like the part in the movie where you find out the person that was closest to you is part of the enemy. You like, oh, this ain't good. This hurts your heart.
I'm okay. You know when people stand up and they leave, everybody finds that. Yo, you know what? Who said that? Ryan, you said Xbox is dead. The Xbox you know is dead. The Xbox you want to live the way living is dead. That Xbox that you want, that the Laura Fryer's Xbox is dead. That Xbox is dead. But remember, it's always admirable to say, yo, man, he went out on his shield. Only person in this industry that I believe told management go F they self was Reggie Fils-Aimé. I got a chance to hang around Reggie. I got a chance to talk to Reggie one-on-one. I got a chance to bodyguard Reggie, which is crazy, and that was for some hours. I know some things. I know a lot of things. Barris, my brother, with the $5 super chat. See, Sony fanboys, how we're talking about the bad news of Xbox, unlike y'all muted when y'all house is burning. Facts, I told you, y'all thought, like I told Cog this morning, Cog was like, you gonna go live for real? I said, listen, I know it's my born day. I know I could easily be like, I'm not doing it because it's my birthday. This is the day that my feet touched the earth and the devil shook. On God and them. I fear no man and I fear no man's judgment. I'm here for all that smoke. So the day you think I'm going to run from something, you're smoking rocks. So I'm showing up, waiting to have the conversation with every and anyone. When dudes tell you that, King, I can't find you, you full of it. Hector finds me every week. Where's the link? It's in the description.
Yep, Discord. But like you said, King, when you love something and you really love something truly, you gotta tell the truth. You gotta be honest about it.
Yeah.
I love Xbox. I'm never gonna turn on it. And like I feel like how Cog felt about Sega. Listen, to the day y'all put it in the dirt is the day I'm gonna give up on it.
Facts. But they making it hard not to put them in the dirt.
Hey, listen, they die every week.
Yo, listen, in somebody else's eyes, they die. All right, so let's get to that handheld, right? Let me talk about the handheld real quick. That handheld is the dream handheld that I want. I like my ROG. I hate Windows in it. And this is where Laura Fryer was right. She didn't like Windows. But could you imagine telling a man that made Windows you don't like Windows? I think you got to go, right? Honestly, right? And then you probably looking at her like, yo, you the reason why I don't got Windows inside the box now how I want it, and I want the takeover like how I want it. I got to wait 25 years to put the right people in place in order to see my vision, right? Because y'all came back to his vision. This is the original. So you're going to get a Windows device without the bloat, giving you the Xbox that you asked for, while also allowing you to play games from Steam and be as versatile and as flexible as what the original Xbox dream was? So when are we not going to give our geniuses their respect? Say whatever you want about Bill Gates. Say that he puts viruses inside mosquitoes. Apparently, I don't know. Maybe I don't care about that part. Talk about the games part. Was he right or was he not right? Obviously, if they're going in that direction right now and they see the metrics panning out, obviously they was right. Maybe they needed to build a culture. Maybe you were just part of the building process to get us to where we needed to get to. But I'm told that hardware is coming. Honestly, I grew up in a time when I thought elves made my toys. You think I really give a damn who the hell's making my next Xbox as long as I get it? I thought Santa Claus was real at a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Santa Claus ain't real. Ain't no elves making my stuff. Hitachi is. Right? Mitsubishi is. I had TVs under my television, when my living room was at, floor model televisions. I ain't know who made it. All I know, they brought me the image that I wanted to get.
And them joints was heavy too, King.
Facts. Backbreakers, son. The old school backbreakers. The old school I need a friend.
Young, I know. Hey, listen, even though I'm young, I got raised by my grandparents. I know how them joints feel. Them joints heavy.
Yo, that's the reason why I put that video up yesterday and I was inside that old school television. I put that video up yesterday with me, and go check that video out if y'all didn't see it. My editing skills is getting crazy. I'm getting nuts. I'm bananas out here. Pause. I'm going to be bananas Saturday. That's wild crazy. Bananas. So I did that yesterday to show that her mentality of what she was thinking about was a little old. It was a little long in the tooth. And a lot of us are still believing that Xbox and Microsoft could do it that way. To anybody that's in the chat that believes that Microsoft is dead, yeah. Microsoft is dead. Soul-wise, yeah, probably so. Is Xbox dead? Yeah. The way that you knew them, it's not the same.
But King,
yes.
What isn't that the rule of the life though? Evolution. You gotta be a caterpillar your whole life, or you gonna become a butterfly? You just gonna be stuck, or you gonna get with the time? You gotta grow.
But
if you want the old Xbox, I understand. Yeah, the 360 generation was the best generation.
For some,
you had to be there.
Until you got Red Ring of Death all over the place. For some,
yeah, it's true. But I'm talking about gaming wise.
Oh, that was lit.
That was the time. That was the time to be. But guess what? Things happen.
But
issues happen. But guess what? This is the Xbox now. And they're trying to be future proof.
That was games for everyone. Every game all over the place was dope. Nintendo was dope. PlayStation was dope. Xbox was dope. It was who that you decided to rock with during that period of time. I rock with 360. I rock with OG Xbox. But this is build and destroy. You know, you got to do the knowledge on it, right? And then you got to take the cipher and make a circle and get everything inside of it in order to gain that wisdom. And in order to use that wisdom, you got to know that doing it the way that you was doing is not working. I'm just telling you. So if anybody, when I told you guys I'm a platform warrior, I moved on to platforms because I understand where the industry is going. The industry is going to the services and the platforms because that's where the bulk of the money is being made. Sony saw an increase inside services and the platform. Hardware sold, but games are not selling at the same rate as the hardware. If this was true, then the exclusively timed exclusive game, which is Death Stranding 2, that is being sold currently on the PlayStation 5 consoles, PlayStation 5 Portable, the PlayStation 5 console, and the PlayStation 5 Pro. That game, you can play it right there in that ecosystem. That game would have sold at least 5 million copies had that metrics held up with 70 million sold. There's something strange going on. Elemento Peter with the $5 super chat. Devil advocate here. Cutting down on production costs might make for better, tighter produced games, combat the 400 million budgets. That's never happening again. If you think $400 million budgets are still the norm, that's never happening again. You will not see that. And those games that are... watch Halo. Halo is made on Unreal Engine 5. Halo will not cost a fraction of what Halo Infinite did. Watch. When you see it, because they're going to talk about it in October. And if that thing is a game of service, be prepared for Halo to be on the PlayStation 5. I'm telling you right now, if that's a game of service, holy, trust me when I'm telling you, pray, listen, do what I do. I think that game is going to be a reboot of Halo Combat Evolve. Please be so. Please be that. Please let that be what it is. Please do not put a brand new Halo over there too. Please don't do that. right? Because dudes is asking me, do I think that Gears of War E-Day is going to be day and date on a PlayStation? I hope not. I hope not. With stuff like this happening, I can't tell you for sure. I know where it's going to be day and date on purpose. I don't know what that game going to cost. What, at that time we had $90 games? I don't know. R&B with the $2 super chat. Happy birthday. Wake me up when PlayStation 6 games come to Steam and Xbox. Blessings. Listen, I had I have a thumbnail that I'm going to use tomorrow that's going to be so disgustingly petty and spiteful and evil that the PlayStation dudes are going to think dancing today will carry on to tomorrow. No, I'm taking your legs off tomorrow. Trust me. Y'all just got a day to live. I'm back outside like Jason with the mask on. It's up. Now, you know what? Tomorrow's video is going to be a horror show. It's going to be a horror show, and I hope you know who's coming to the block. That dude with the... You're done, son. On God in them. Andrew, what's up? Blessings, boy. Gotta go, King. Happy birthday. Blessings. Don't worry. I'm about to break it down because the only person that showed up was Hector. And dudes act like they can't get the link in the description. And dudes act like they're afraid of the king. Why? When today is the day that you're supposed to dance. When the day is the day that you think that you could have humbled me. When today is the day that you had the words to spit out your mouth, but you chose not to. So I don't respect you on Twitter saying stuff in the dark that you don't tag me in. I don't respect you on Twitter talking with your friends and clipping things and putting things together thinking you cute. I don't respect you on Twitter being the shiesty punks that you are. I give you the format and the platform to get on. And don't tell me I'm not trying to give you any views. You watch me anyway. So don't tell me that. Just tell me that you're afraid of me. Tell me that you're afraid. Tell me I'm the big bad wolf. Tell me I'm the monster inside your closet. Tell me I'm that dude that's coming out on his birthday still Deboing you. That's my bike.
Hey.
Blessings.
King Thrash pulled up.
Thrash is in here. Where he at? Thrash, jump in.
I'm talking about Thrash pulled up before.
Oh yeah, he came on. He had a conversation. Yeah. I'm not talking about the. Listen, I'm not talking about the real ones. Jay Barry texted me this morning. He hit me this morning. Happy birthday, blessings. I told him I was going live later on today. If I call Jay Barry right now and I call J Dub, they will jump in. But they're not sitting. They're not the ones in the background talking mess.
They're not. And guess what though? They'll jump in easily, but they got a way big. They the biggest major ponies on Twitter. Facts. And they have no problem jumping in. So who are you with 200 followers, 100 followers, 50 followers? I'm gonna give you views. You need to get followers first before you even say something crazy like that.
I won't even say that. I will want them. I don't care if they don't got no followers. I don't care how small your channel is. I don't care. Show up. Exactly. Show up, be here, be part of the conversation. Because if you want to disrespect Xbox, I'm giving you the platform to say what you want to say. Right? I'm telling you this. Do I respect them slashing 9,000 jobs? F no. No way. Do you know how hard it hurt me when I had to tell people when my companies had to close? I had total at one time 18 employees, right? I wasn't big. I wasn't no big time person. I'm a humble person, right? I had to let go 13 employees. It's the hardest thing in the world that it was nothing that I can do. Just imagine 13. Just sitting there, 13 people that I seen their families. When Thanksgivings come out, I gave them turkeys. We had raffles. We did fun stuff. We did that. I was a part of, I saw kids being born and families and all this stuff. And I got to take off for my mom's. All types of things. I've been part of that. To see 9,000 people casually be let go in an email, and the verbiage you use is to be agile and flexible. I never made $1 trillion in my life, right? And I said, if I ever got a substantial amount of cash at one time, I would build a temple, a non-escostic temple that it's non-denomination. It's none of that. You could just go in there, just take your shoes off, and you could pray and meditate and just get closer to God. I will do that part. That will be my part to this contribution on this planet. That I would love to do that, right? But I would find a way. I know my heart. I would find a way. Because there's no way in hell I can have 9,000 people blood on my hands. 9,000. And then you're telling them on a 4th of July weekend, I don't care if you celebrate it or not, you're telling them on a long holiday weekend, go take care. The industry is not coming back how it's supposed to. Those jobs are not opening up. Those jobs are not coming back. They're not. Because the metrics is showing people aren't coming back to video gaming. These guys are running out of ideas on what games to make. So they're canceling anything with any ideas. We don't see new titles being done. We see part 2s. We see remakes and remasters. They're terrified to try something new, and it fails. And the games that's supposed to succeed, like Astrobot, I don't give a damn how much Game of the Years you give something. It didn't sell. It didn't sell. So you can tell me that Sony is going to make another Astrobot. Don't bet your life on it. They're going to chase that dragon. And that dragon is Fortnite money. Let's talk about one thing first, real quick. I see my man DC Who-Dat in the chat. Peace and blessings, DC Who-Dat. Tell the people what's up.
Happy birthday, King. Happy birthday, my brother.
Blessings, God. Thank you for showing up and pulling up and being the true friend for that you do. We also have somebody else in the chat. Who's in the chat? Say what's up. Who's that? That's Carmelo Anthony, my dude.
Happy birthday, King. Thought I'd drop in and just say what's up, man. How you been?
Blessings, Carmelo, man. I appreciate you. No, this is not Carmelo Anthony that used to play for the Knicks. If it was, my smile would never leave my face. But this is Carmelo Anthony, my guy, and I appreciate him. So that's why I got a smile that's as wide as my head right now. Pause. I appreciate you. I appreciate both of you guys for showing up. I'm going to ask both of you really quickly. What is the state of Xbox and where do you think that they're going from right now? Laying off 9,000 people supposedly. Shutting down a couple of games. Perfect Dark being one of the highlights in that shutting down. And Everwild's being another game that we know not of, but we know of the magic that Rare has. What is your take on the actions that happened today with Microsoft, and what do you think is going to happen going forward? I'm going to start off with you first, DC Who-Dat, and then I'm going to come right back to you, Carmelo.
Bet.
You know, I'll tell you, King, and I've bled green since the OG Xbox, man. Today is a Black Wednesday. And I say that because I think there's a profound lack of leadership. And that's been a problem. You know, Phil, I love Phil. But Phil's one man. There's middle managers, there's product development, there's product managers. And there's a huge profound problem within that middle management to get projects done on time. And we're seeing that again. How much did they invest in Project Dark with the initiative? I mean, we've been hearing about their quadruple A studio since 2019, I believe, maybe even earlier than that. And you haven't brought one thing to the table, not one product to the table. How many millions of dollars has to be invested before you have to cut losses? And you can't play the game, the sunk cost fallacy.
Yep.
And that's where I see the big problem with Microsoft is this inability for these middle managers to get products done on time. And how does a game like Perfect Dark take 5 years, and you knew at some point you had to know this game is not good. It's not turning out the way we want it to turn out.
Mm-hmm.
How does it take this long before you do something about it? It's just a sad situation, and I agree with you, King. Everyone's looking for Fortnite. There's one Fortnite.
Hold on. Tudor, I'm gonna say this because I said this earlier, and only reason why I'm coming at you, because you could have said it in the super chat if you really wanted me to read it, because I'll let you just play in the dirt. But I said this is Phil's fault. I said this is Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer's fault. I told you, heavy is the head that wear the crown. If I'm going to big you up when you do something good, then I'm going to talk about it when you do something bad. I told you it's his fault. So don't laugh saying it's never Phil's fault. It is absolutely his fault. The buck stops with him. He's the big kahuna. He's the Tom Brady of this shit. He's the dude. He's the quarterback. So if the team don't win, it's his fault. So don't ever say, I'm ducking that fade and I'm not going to call him out. That's my guy. That's somebody that I can hit up at any time. But he knows like I know, and he'll tell you when they win, it's a team effort. When they lose, it's a team effort, because he doesn't want all the accolades. I said, and I tell him to his face. I said, you are the face of the team. You won. You are the face of the franchise. You lost. That's how it is. Like it or love it. Hate it or can't stand it. That's the rules of the game.
Those guys also have to have somebody catch the ball. And that's where I think
I know. Listen, I know what you're saying. And I'm not saying that you're not right. Actually, I think Matt Booty is doing a kick-ass job with taking down games that should not be there. The worst thing that we could have is a Perfect Dark come out from the quadruple A touted studio that wasn't up to snuff, that wasn't a quadruple A game, that costs X amount of dollars, it does a Concord, that doesn't meet the metrics and doesn't sell. So if he's got to take down a game that doesn't seem like it's making it, then I don't know what you're going to do with that code, but kill it. I'd rather you kill it and be real, but and don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't have no meetings on what you did and why you did it. Do it like Sony does. It's over. Kill it. Deal with it. Get it, shit or get off the pot. If you don't like it, hit and leave. They know damn well we ain't going no place. I got thousands of dollars in Xbox games. I ain't going no place.
Yeah, I'm in, man. Unfortunately, I'm in sometimes, but that's just the way it is.
So let me get to Carmelo before we run out of here. Carmelo, talk to me, brother.
If you want my thoughts on it, when I first saw the initial trailer, it looked really good.
Right.
I liked the gameplay from what I saw. When I saw, they zoomed in, obviously on the main character, I looked at that and I said, doesn't look like the one from Perfect Dark Zero. Definitely doesn't look like the one from the original Perfect Dark. I don't know, man. It looked like it was really early. It looked like it was years away. It didn't really feel like it was in 7 years of development. So either they changed the director way too many times and they just couldn't find a way to glue it all together in time. Like they had a window they wanted to meet and they just couldn't meet it. I think if they had 3 or 4 more years, it probably would have came out for sure.
Right.
But at that point, you're 11 years. That's ridiculous.
Hell no.
And how much was it going to sell? Realistically, I don't think it was going to sell more than maybe 1 million or 2 million copies. So if you really look at around the
Let me get the super chat real quick. Elo Milipito with the $5 super chat. If laying off $9,000 could lead to another acquisition, would you do it? No. For me, no. And let me let you finish your thoughts. We got 2 more people that jumped in. And after y'all finish your thoughts, DC, I'm going to tell you thank you because I'm going to like to give C Money and I would like to give Legendary Yobi their time. And then Carmelo, let me finish your thoughts. Blessings.
But I was basically saying that a lot of the single player games, if you notice, they sell somewhere anywhere between 500,000 copies to usually 2 to 3 million usually. Then there's usually the exceptions to the rule like Black Myth, Wukong, and Elden Ring that sell 30 million copies. But if you look at the previous Souls games, they usually sold around, 2-3 million, nothing too crazy.
Right.
Even Bloodborne, I'm pretty sure sold like 2.4, 2.6 million when it came out. So it's like usually there's always like 2 to 3 million people who show up day one for these single player games. And then these people at the head are looking at, oh, look at these live service games that have like 100 million, 200 million, 500 million people showing up and playing on their phone, mobile, PC, console, everywhere. So then they're looking at the development for the single player game. I'm giving you 7 years for this.
And I'm not making no money.
Money like GTA. Why
That
isn't
part.
it producing money like 2K, Madden, FIFA, all the sports games every year that everybody's running up to buy every year, even though it's the same exact game, except worse every single year. It gets progressively worse, but nobody cares because, nostalgia. I played this with my older brother or my younger brother or my friends. We came over and we played on the TV, snacks, Madden, 1v1, NBA 2K, one-on-one, whatever, and they just continue to buy it every year.
Facts.
For the other single-player games that, they haven't been around consistently, regularly for people like they know about it, you're taking a huge risk when you come out and try to bring an IP back, and you got to nail it. Like, if you don't
Blessings.
nail it,
Hold on.
let
me get this super chat right. Well, let me get this member chat. Scott Wolford, member for 16 months. I salute you, soldier. Soldier V rank. I want to become the face of Xbox so I can explain Game Pass to the casual. Happy 21st birthday. Blessings. I love you. You're 21? Yeah, that's blessings. But thank you, Carmelo. I appreciate you for showing up today. Say money!
What's up, fam?
My brother that can hit me in the DM, text me and say good blessings this morning, because he definitely did that. He's definitely my brother from another mother. That's my dude. Let me tell you something about C Money. You ever tell somebody that they should be a place and you give them direction? I'm telling you, when I tell you, I like talking to people that's about action. Right? I like to surround myself with action people. C Money is a man of action. He's so much a man of action. I got a chance to see his son and his daughter show up. Madman and his daughter got a chance to see Madman in the flesh. Blessings. At the community event. And let me tell you something. Explaining to him that was the place to be, he understood what I said when he got there. Now, next year, we're going to work on getting him into the Summer Games Fest and stuff like that. But he understood what I meant with being in the hub of where everything is at. And him and his illustrious family has never I call them the Fantastic Four, even though it's more. They have never shied away from being the first family and being individuals that are holding that Xbox brand in a great light. So I appreciate you for showing up. I love you, my brother. Let the people know what's going on with you. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, happy birthday, my brother. I want to tell you,
blessings,
life person as well. That's what's up, man. Another great year. You gotta be fucking happy with that, man. So
yes.
Good on you, my brother. So hope you enjoy your day. I know this is like a crazy news day for you to be having your birthday, but it'd be what it be. And yeah, man, you already forgot, bro. We were at Summer Game Fest. Remember when you saw me?
Oh,
you said, oh shit.
yes, yo, yes, that's true. I'm like, wait a second, yes, because I told you, I said fill out for media and do this, that, and the third, and you did everything. And my bad. I apologize. My brain. You see, I be in go mode. You see me. I be in go mode, bro. Blessings.
It's all right. Actually, it was sad we didn't get to see each other more at Summer Games Fest because we kind of saw each other and then it just like
got to do what we got to do. We working. Plus, Summer Games Fest is different than other places where everything is scheduled, right?
Yep.
So it's business. People don't get it.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, listen, I just wanted to kind of hop on. I saw you were talking about it. I was like, you know what? Let me come in real quick because my show ain't till tomorrow. But so I'm basically just kind of want to respond to some of the noise that I'm hearing, and for me, like I completely understand the situation, right? And I feel like we end up tearing apart the idea of what we should be focused on.
Yeah.
Because so many people want to put the focus somewhere else, right? And we know that the people who are doing that are people who are looking to make it a problem, right? I think everybody knows that we should be sad, right? This moment is to be upset and sad for the people who lost their job, right?
Right.
Sucks big time for them, man. It's not fun. It's not something that you want to wake up and find out like this is what's happening to you, right? Definitely, all of our thoughts are with those people, right? But like then they want to conflate the other situation, which is Microsoft, Xbox, monsters.
Yeah.
Whoa, how could they do such a thing? And I mean, listen, you own a business. I own a business, right? At the end of the day, I think you and I both know that business is business, and we always have to make sure things are going in the right direction.
Yeah,
right?
that's why Phil says it's a business.
Exactly. And if you have, and Phil keeps saying it because he's trying to remind people that as much as we have a sneak peek behind a curtain of all this stuff that's going on, in reality, we're supposed to be, on the gaming side of this, right? We're looking at what does the things they do, how does that pay out for us, right? That's where that's where our investment comes in, right? So then they have to go ahead and say, okay, we're looking at a game that's been in development for over 6 years, right?
If it ain't working, it got to go. Even though I'm scared that it's gone, I'm mad.
Exactly, right? Now, remember, the games that were just talked about, sadly, were all from before Xbox has gone into this big road of having ABK, having Bethesda, all those games that were in development before they made these big moves.
Yeah.
Okay. They gave as much time as reasonably possible for these games to get right. But see, what the world wants us to think is that they should have said, no, we're going to release Perfect Dark no matter what happens.
The same way that I had stupid people tell me that they still should release Scalebound. Scalebound was utter trash. I played it. It was trash.
Like a sliver of gameplay that we see that looks great doesn't equal the entire experience.
Facts.
And what I am never going to co-sign is this idea that because a game was being made, that they should just F it, release it. Bro, they gave these games years. You think that if they didn't think Perfect Dark, they saw the reaction to the trailer. If they thought that they can get Perfect Dark to a place that it was going to work,
yeah,
you're telling me you don't think that would have happened? Of course it would have. Clearly, they saw it and said the amount of investment that is going to take to get it to where it needs to be for the potential return that it's going to bring is not worth it anymore.
It wasn't worth it.
Like,
so let me ask you a question. You got a chance to see Concord. You got a chance to play Concord. They had two tests, two alpha and beta tests internally to show the game. The first test came out, it was low. I think it was like 53% of the PlayStation fan base or whatever that was online. And then the next one scored less than that, 23. So it was no interest from that fan base. They didn't change the delivery system. They just put the game out and then killed it 11 days later. So do you think those things that happened there put the scare of God into other companies like Microsoft?
I mean, I would say that Microsoft saw that independently because I think Redfall was Phil's kind of coming to Jesus moment. But I do think that it obviously helped, right? In seeing that it's kind of not worth
Jesse, don't be depressed. All right. First, I don't want you to use words like being depressed when it comes to video games. Don't be depressed about no damn video game, Jesse. I'm gonna tell you right now, we're not here to be depressed. We could be like, damn, man, I really wanted to play that game, man. I was really looking forward to that. It's not like your backlog just got any smaller. Actually, the game didn't release. So don't tell me that you are depressed. Do not emotionally tie yourself to something that you didn't have. You can't miss something that you never had, right? Just say, oh, man, it looked good.
That's an idea that you had, right? And what if that game came out and it sucked? What would have been worse for you?
Right.
Right?
But see, money. Let me get a chance to get to my man, legendary Yobi. He jumps in. I'm pretty sure that he's at work, and because my man works 2 jobs. He called me this morning today. Blessings, God. I'm glad that you showed up. Talk to the people. Let them know who you are.
Man, you know who birthday it is today?
Blessings.
It's the King's birthday.
I appreciate you.
Listen, man, happy birthday first and foremost.
Blessings.
I'm proud of you. Keep it going. Now let's get to it, King. And gentlemen in the chat, good to see you guys. Jesse Darby, don't ever be depressed over video games. We have more. It's too much life to be living out here to be depressed over video games.
Facts.
We got this. The news sucked today, King. Business as usual. I was looking forward to Perfect Dark because Perfect Dark, that's my heart. That's my favorite IP from my childhood, bro. But it's like what you said earlier, and what C Money said. You got a couple. You got like almost 5+ years.
Yeah.
And the only thing you have to show it is a trailer, which was a fantastic trailer.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you gotta look at like, okay.
And how many managers they got rid of in between from the initiative?
Exactly. On the outside looking in.
Let me grab this super chat real quick. Miguel accused Smith with the $5 super chat. Put your glizzies away for all those affected. Sadly, the game was given to multiple studios and maybe it just wasn't working. Blessings. I mean, tell the truth, Shane the Devil. I think you're on to something. Go ahead. Sorry, Legendary.
No, you're good. No problem. It's like on the outside looking in, we see, we finally got a trailer for Perfect Dog. Cool, happy. The reaction was tremendous. But like on the inside looking out, they probably looking at this like,
nah.
Okay, you guys finally got a trailer out, but it's not. Is it ready to be in a plain state, not to be released, but is it ready to be in a testing phase, like in a beta? I'm pretty sure they probably has to even enter beta. They're probably in like pre-alpha right now, you know.
Right.
So 9 out of 10, the writing low key was on the wall. And
oh no! Don't tell me I lost the Iron Rook.
Wait, what happened?
Sheesh. Wait a second. Let me see if the Iron Rook is still here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Iron Rook, tell me that you're here. Iron Rook, come back in because you did something to us and we did a reaction on Patreon. I really wanted to talk to you. I was getting ready to get to you in a second. I was letting Legendary spit his spill. Rook, get your butt back in here. If you're listening, I hope you wasn't on lunch break or something like that. Damn. We did a reaction. Iron Rook had us do a reaction on Iron Lord's podcast on Patreon to Stranger with a Sword. It's an anime movie that was who was that? Who heard? Who's talking? Sorry. Okay. That was put out probably, I think it was 2007 that movie came out, or could be 2017. I'm tend to forget. But anyway, the movie is phenomenal. We did a reaction. It's me, Cog, and Attic. Go check that out whenever y'all get a chance. Iron Rook paid for that, for us to sit down an hour and a half and watch this movie. And I'm telling you, it's some of the most hilarious takes on an anime movie. It's a part in there that is probably one of Cog and now Attic is part of this, funniest moments when watching any form of cinema. I guarantee you, it will be something that you will clip, put up, and laugh about. But Yobi, let's get to you real quick. Let's finish that up and let's get to the Raging Bull. And then I'm just gonna give you my closings and what I also had to talk about Call of Duty real quick.
But it's like I said, like on the outside looking in, we thought finally we got a trailer, but behind closed door, the hire us like, we're excited for the reactions, but you guys finally got a trailer after all these years, like, so you kind of put them in a difficult spot. And you said earlier, when it comes to value, they haven't improved anything thus far. So the writing was already on the wall. And with Everwild, when they announced that, it said it got restarted.
All right, there goes the Iron Rook. Hold on. Iron Rook, unmute your mic. Spit your spill real quick. Blessings. There he goes.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not good with technology. I found it on the Discord that you guys were doing a voice thing, and I joined in because of the Xbox news that happened. So I was just listening to it at my desk. I didn't realize what I was doing.
Nah, it's no problem. See, I put the link in the description. I tell people to jump in. They can have the conversation at any time because this is an open forum. My shows is an open forum. Anytime you see me live, you can jump in and we can have the conversation. This is not an echo chamber where I talk to myself. Now, I got a lot of people that's down inside the conversationals, down there in the bullpit, fighting with each other. But they see what y'all don't do is y'all don't hold those people in there that y'all arguing with feet to the fire and say get up there and have the conversation with King. If you got these words like Linda the gamer, like she don't show up, and I know why, because that's my waifu, that's my shorty, and she she stalks me from now and again, and I appreciate her for showing up. But stop riling up the chat, Linda. Now, Rook, did you like, because I heard you got a chance to see our reaction to the movie. Did you like it?
Yeah, no, I thought that was hilarious. I think you're referring to the when the old guy, they cut him down and he keeps talking. I was in tears because you and Cog just fucking lost it.
Yes.
But yeah, so that movie was a movie. It came out in 2007.
Right, 2007.
My cousin had me watch it like right after it came out.
Right.
And I don't know how it flew under the radar so much because it is one of the best anime movies I've ever seen.
Yep.
But since seeing it in 2007, I have never seen it referenced, mentioned, anything ever.
And it's one of the best ones I've seen.
Yeah, and when you guys were talking about Cog doing anime reactions, and he's talking like he's got his whole past with Shinobi and all that. Like he likes that old school stuff.
Yeah.
So people are recommending him stuff. They're recommending stuff that I like, but I'm like, there's no fucking way he's gonna like that with what his tastes are.
Right.
But that movie immediately jumps to mind. I was like, this is like the perfect thing for him to get into, with what he's after.
Yep.
So I suggested that right away. I was like, no, you guys. Like, I like My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, all this stuff, but Cog is going to hate all of this.
Yeah.
And he's been raising my blood pressure with all his, like, bleach, and now he's, like, turned Bankai into, like, the worst thing ever.
Yeah, my Bankai
it was
is out.
hilarious.
Yo, shout out to Megatron. Blessings, my brother. I miss you every year. I don't see you in Cali, and understand you getting your stuff together, and when that's done, we'll be back. But I got another person that's inside the chat. The Raging Bull, you waited patiently, brother. Please talk to the people. Raging Bull, let us know what's going on.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, my first of all is I'm going to talk about where I come from as a farming simulator community.
Right.
And so we have mods and stuff like that. And I'm glad that Xbox is finally going to break that trend where they keep the consoles separate if Xbox is moving towards a PC-like thing.
Right.
Get what I mean?
Right. Opening it up. Yeah.
Opening it up. And that's a good thing. And I'm, by the way, happy birthday.
Blessings.
I'll tell you that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sorry. I should have started with that.
It's cool. Blessings.
So I think from my perspective, I think this is all good for the true gamers who want to play, who want to create, who want to do things and whatever, blah, 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 blah. It's nice. That's my honest opinion in all of it.
Okay. So, all right, let me ask you a question. As far as the layoffs go, what do you feel with the layoffs? Now, I know some people is going to say they're pro-capitalism. They're going to say that they're pro a corporation. Some people are going to say that they're against corporations. They're going to say that they're pro-worker. I think there's a lot of layers that go into this. I think they made sure that they cut people that weren't in unions, being that Microsoft was one of the biggest supporters of unions and stuff like that. I think there's many different dynamics playing into stuff right now. I think there's people that are disingenuous when they're doing their reporting because there's agendas in the background. But what do you think with the 9,000 people supposedly laid off? Because I don't think we have a concrete number, and I'm not going to keep running around with the highest number. I thought it was going to be 2,000 people, be honest with you, and I was being real modest with my number, thinking that I don't think they can go any higher than that because I don't know where you was going to remove the people from. But please tell me.
Well, it's across the multiple different industries from banking, you name it. All right now, all of them are looking at their numbers.
Yeah.
And they're seeing what's going on. And there's a whole lot of layoffs across the whole, you name it. It's everywhere right now.
Yeah. And it's the industry. The industry itself is in a depressing mode. And when I'm talking about a depressing mode, I'm talking about from a shareholder stock market look at it.
Yeah.
It's called a depression, right? And that means it's pushed down to a point where you can't squeeze too much out of it. They like the inflated part to it where there's wiggle room, there's movement that's happening. The only movement is happening is at the top. The bottom, there's really no wiggle room. You're not really making any money in the market unless you're savvy enough to move that way. But when people give predictions of Microsoft as a company making it to $5 trillion as a company in its whole, in its entirety, in the next 18 months, and to hear language like we needed to trim the fat in order to be agile, I only can surmise that those numbers was come to by the usage of AI dwindling down the people that they've deemed fat. Right? And when I'm talking about fat, I'm talking about bloat. I'm talking about excess weight. I'm talking about people that aren't helping the company move forward. They're actually holding the company back. Those people that are taking too many days off, that are not as productive. There's also was an edict that went out that was forcing the companies, the employees, to use the chat open AI. Right? So, ChatGPT and also a Copilot. And using the tools that they have. Now, not the tools that you guys have commercially, right? I'm talking about the industrial tools of AI that they're using inside the company. And they're telling them that they will have like a metrics meter knowing how much AI tools that they use to be proficient in this to get the best out of their work effort for that day. And if they're not using it, I've heard that these employees could have been canned. And now maybe this is part of the reason why we see a larger number of people that are no longer with the company. Do I feel that that's right? Hell no. Do I think that that's wrong? Absolutely. But again, you remove the human element out of it and people are moving in a metrics based on performance. And if performance is the reason why you're no longer there, and I tell people performance is your identity at your job place. Your performance dictates, that's your card. That's when you walk in, that's who you are. When your boss can look at you and know he's going to give you a task and that task will be completed. He or she, they know that they can count on you, that you're dependable, that the only time that you do take off is the time that you're allotted and the time that you do put in for ahead of time, that you're being kind and considerate to your workers, that the other workers that's around. I think that metric holds weight. And if they're using those metrics to get rid of people, then that lets you know right now the slackers are done. Right? Not saying that 9,000 people are slackers, as I think good people are lost in there. Right? But this is corporations.
Yeah, there's always some amount of people who accidentally get caught. You never know. But I do think that some of it could have been AI and some of it could be looking out from other things.
Right.
I think there's a lot of factors right now.
Just because you're a B student don't mean that your intellect is of a B level. The Iron Rook with the $20 super chat, he said, I didn't realize it's your birthday. Happy birthday. My bad. Blessing. Listen, God, you donated and super chatted, I think it was like upwards of $400 for us to do that reaction. Brother, it's okay. You know, absolutely.
Hey, I do got one thing to add to the conversation. I actually ran back outside. So I work in tech, not entertainment. I work in tech out in San Francisco. And we've had 3 big layoffs in the last 10 months. And and you mentioned the human element. And what I think a lot of people don't really think about in these conversations, I see people arguing about numbers and stuff like that. I had somebody on my team, she's here on an H-1B visa. She came in for a 14-hour day on Martin Luther King Day to work with a vendor and got laid off 2 weeks later without, getting her comp day or anything like that.
Whoa.
And a lot of the people that have been affected by the layoffs, at least at my company, were good people. And the people making the decisions half the time didn't even know what they did, which we found out after they left, and we no longer could do those functions. But what they don't realize is it affects the people that are still there. Like the morale, it gets so low, and people start to wonder, like, I could do my job to the best of my ability, and I could be an absolute rock star, but I can see that that's not going to make me safe. And for a while, I was looking for a new job just because I didn't feel stable here. Cost of living here is absolutely nuts, so you don't want to get laid off. You just bridging the gap is so difficult. So it got to the point where I was having trouble committing myself to long-term projects on a subconscious level. So I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to be here to see this thing through. And if I am, I might get let go as soon as it's done. And the morale just here across the board is really low, and people aren't willing to give up their, they're not willing to stay late or come in on weekends like they used to, because no one is. It's a subconscious thing. Like no one's thinking.
All right, breaking news. I gotta cut you right now. Breaking news, and I'm gonna have to hit him in the DMs. Okay. Breaking news as we're talking right now. Phil Spencer reportedly stepping down as CEO of Microsoft Gaming after the next-gen Xbox launch. Sarah Bond will be taking over. Wow. It's been a busy day for Microsoft, and not for the better. There have been a slew of rumors and reports about layoffs and potential game cancellations. We knew today would be a significant day for Microsoft. This was the day rumored to see some restructuring and plans. We're now finding out that Phil Spencer might be gearing up for his exit. Phil Spencer has been the head of Xbox for some time now, and this report is coming from Dennis Patrick over at, what site is this? What is this? GameRex. I don't really like game racks like that, but again, anyway, this is the day rumor holder restructures. Phil Spencer has been the head of Xbox for some time now, and he has been with Microsoft for even longer. After joining Xbox and the team back in 2001, we have seen Phil work his way up to the point where he stepped into the role of CEO of Microsoft Gaming. However, if one rumor is to believe, this might be the last title that he holds at Microsoft as he's stepping down. Thanks to Insider Gaming, we're learning that the industry insider, the Ghost of Hope, messaged their followers on X and that the CEO is planning to retire. Currently is focused on getting through the official launch of the next generation Xbox. Afterwards, the reins will be passed down to Sarah Bond. For those unaware, Sarah Bond is the current president of Xbox. Brothers, I'm going to go into a diatribe right now. So if you're not ready to stick around for a long conversation, before I hand it back to you guys, I'm going to say I appreciate your time. I'm going to get into this right now. Well, I've talked about this to Mr. Boomstick XL. And I've told him that I never thought that Sarah would be taking the spot of Phil when Phil moves out of the way. And Boom told me that Sarah was ultimately going to be the person. So if this rumor does turn out to be true, then me personally, I got to say, Mr. Boomstick, you called it from day one. I always thought Matt Booty would take it. But if this is to be true, then I'm only can believe that Matt Booty said, you out, I'm out. Matt Booty is his ride or die. Matt Booty is his shooter. Matt Booty has been the person that he brought in when he was going into the trenches, when he had to be told to do some strange stuff in order to get Xbox over the finish line. It has taken a toll on Phil. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, as his brother, as I can show you pictures of me and him from when he started to when he's here. Not talking about when he was working in the ground up in the mailroom or whatever the hell. No, didn't know him then. I'm talking about when he became the head honcho, when he became the dude in charge. If you look at it on my gamer tag is me and him back 10 years ago, right? And every year we made it our thing to have a conversation after it. This year, I kind of regret, not even because we were talking, but the corn has ears, my mama always said. And it was too many people around us for me to have that actual conversation, because I understood what I was going to ask him. People would have definitely ran and used that. This was one of those questions. Now, I'm going to tell you a couple of things, and I'm going to tell you from my perception and my body language, and I understand how people move. When me and him talk, it's always a business love type of conversation, right? It's always respect, right? And I'm not saying that the other people that I talk to, we don't have respect. I'm talking about we understand there's a professional line that we won't cross. We won't Tim dog this, right? Tim was his ace, his buddy, his friend, right? So if anybody getting a chance to see Tim crash and burn, first of all, Tim passionately loves the Xbox ecosystem, right? And now to not have access to something that you were giving carte blanche to, it's like being locked out of your parents' house, right? For saying stuff or doing something that you didn't think that was reprehensible. right? But to only find out that they turned their backs on you and you thought that they never would. So I understand Tim throwing rocks and paper toweling the house and hating everything that goes on. But deep down, that hate is rooted in love. So I understand, and I will never back away from him. Fia Marie, my lady, happy birthday, my liege. I hope you have a fabulous evening with the family, good food, good conversation, and a whole lot of blessings. XXX with the £5 super chat. I've been missing you in the chat lately, so we've been holding the lights on until you showed up. So I went early today for you to just show up, and it worked. I smoked you out. You're here. Blessings. I think, yes, blessings, yes.
I didn't mean to stop you, but as of like 20 minutes ago, Jazz put out an article saying Microsoft Chief Comms Officer Frank Shaw says that rumors of Phil Spencer reported retirement plan are made up.
Okay. Let me talk about this because I'm going to tell you what I saw. And anytime there's smoke, there's fire.
Fire.
Right? Sure. And I'm telling you what I saw with my own two eyes. When people are in leisure time, teams sit with teams. Anytime you've seen the Iron Lords anywhere, Cog, you can see Cog over there getting a drink or whatever. I always know where he is at all times in the room. They always know where I am. We're always in a satellite circumference of each other, and the interactions with each other is harmonious. I'm telling you this because this is what I see. So anytime I see Xbox era in the same group, in the same area, they are harmonious. They are with each other. They're working in lockstep. Not saying that you have to be buddy, chum with everybody you work with. But what I'm trying to explain is things that I see and I understand body language. Now, me and Sarah's conversations are completely, totally different. Our interactions are on a different vibe. Like me and Phil vibe is a mellow vibe, conversational, low, in and out. Me and Sarah's conversations are high octane, high energy conversations, right? Very aggressive when we talk. But then sometimes I draw it in to have a smaller conversation because too many people listen, right? So we did have that smaller conversation this year, and it was a little bit intimate, not in that sense, in the sense that I needed to have information on certain things, and she gave that information. I brought that stuff back to you. We talked about it. Anyway, yes, sir. What I didn't see was the interaction between the two without the camera, without anything, right? Didn't see it. So I can't gauge the chemistry in saying that that would be the successor. Do I absolutely see the ambition? Yes, I do. If I'm telling you somebody is goal-driven and ambitious, she is all of that. Can this be wearing on Phil in a way that I can't keep doing this BS? No matter what I do, these dudes don't respect and they don't love. Right? But what I'm going to tell Phil, if these rumors happen to be anywhere close, you owe it to yourself to actually come and get your flowers on Iron Lords podcast. You owe it to yourself to actually stand up in front of everybody and understand the reasons why, because I got to break it down. And maybe you don't want that type of blowbation in that situation, to understand why you're Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer, first of his name. Because regardless to what you've done, regardless to what anybody think, regardless to all the stuff that's transpired, again, you are a soldier in a corporation doing the bidding of Big Corpo, right? And you have elevated from that lonely station where you were to the highest point of that station, and that is commendable by any metrics. Anybody wants to become that entry worker, to become the guy that's running the show. You are that, and that's cool, and I respect that. And there's no poo-poo in that, because I don't know how many of y'all out there has become the boss, right? Come from working in to the boss. Understand it's a hard thing. I've done it. It's a hard thing, but this man, bless you, this man needs to understand that he did good things after they gave him a dying ship. Xbox, for all intents and purposes, was supposed to be dead after the Xbox One. He ushered in changes within that system. He brought companies. He brought it into the place where it is. Right now, regardless of whatever you think about Xbox, you can say Xbox is dead as much as you want. But what he did, what Bill Gates wanted him to do, and this is the reason why I understand why he was sitting with Bill Gates and Palmer. Why he was sitting with them that day. Remember I told you that Phil's fit was out of whack? Like somebody dressed him and he looked like a billionaire dude with the new billionaire money sitting around the other billionaires. And I laughed at it because I was genuinely happy for my brother. I swear. Anytime I see somebody excel and go up, I am happy. Because that moment, I don't want to ever talk down on somebody going up. Because I don't want to hear that when I go up, because I'm going up.
Thanks.
But I know now, he has always been the golden one. That's the reason why his name is Aurelius. He's gotten Bill's original vision of what that Xbox was supposed to be. And if you leave after you get that box that Bill wanted from the beginning to the living room, then you have done your job, sir. Your service is no longer needed. You are rendered in effectively immediately. You get the gold watch. You get all of that. Because at the end of the day, you did what others couldn't, and you did what people said you can't. You made it through the storm. You are delivering on the original promise of putting windows in the living room. And doing that, nobody can take that from you. So if that's real, if that conversation is real, and my homie's about to dip out, and he's about to go that way, well, let the Iron Lord send you out the proper way.
Back.
All right? Let us give you that Viking funeral that you deserve. Let us set the fires high. Let the world understand exactly who the hell you are and what you mean to the Xbox industry, because I'm telling you, Xbox is going up. It's the fact that you would have been the only person in your generation to have done something that the PlayStation is afraid to do and can't do. Ship on a competitor's hardware and take over their ecosystem. Make every last one of those ponies yours. You've done this. So if y'all thought this was a day that I was going to sit here and bend the knee to you sucker punk ass bitches, it ain't happened. You came to watch your own self burn. I'm Lord King David. And this is the day I was born. And this is the day that you ran from. Like all you sucker punkies didn't show up here today. I came for all that smoke. When my feet hit the ground, the devil says he's up. Have a good day. Blessings. And I'm going to let y'all go with what I love, because y'all bleed green and so do I.
Beautiful.
What's a man with king? Saying advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front of game, but you said that you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talking, no wriggling, moonwalking, still a moon ride, just to be giving his more traffic with family. That much making a portrait. Gun kick back, now Grammys from Porsches. David on the sea, you know that it's gorgeous. It's over.
I will say now, I'm curious.
You already know the time for my voice to hold the line. We can shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like
they can hear you. Calm down for a second. They can hear you.
We stay ready for the war. Just need the king to drop the sign. What you running from?
Yep.
What you running from? I'm with my team. We bleed green. That's what you wanted, huh?
Dang it! I was having a picture call. Wanted to come on and say something, but oh well.
We bleed green. That's what you wanted, huh? That's what you wanted.
No problem.
Okay. That's what you wanted, huh?
By the way, happy birthday, David.
Appreciate you. We had a couple of people that jumped in. I understand what you're saying is fake. I understand that. I'm telling you what it was just in case. I know y'all can hear, and I told them, yeah, I know that. I know that. Don't worry about that. Let me read this super chat. THX 1138 with the $2 super chat. With Phil, Xbox went from 0 to top dog in 14 years. Blessings. I want to give Cerebral Paul and AKW their shine to have their words. Blessings. Blessings, AKW. Talk to me real quick, brother, before I get up out of here.
Oh, real quick, I just wanted to point out to people that, everybody's saying, Xbox is a failure. Look at what they've done. I'm like, you know what? Nobody knows what went on behind the doors. Nobody knows, everybody's upset about Perfect Dark. The studio may have gone, I figured they asked 3 questions. Where are you at in the development? How long do you think it'll take you to get there? And do you think it's feasible to continue on this project? And some of them may have said, you know what, looking at it honestly, no, it's not. And so we can't just say, and this isn't all on Phil. Everybody doing that. Well, Phil did this. Phil did that. Phil has bosses too.
Facts. He's a worker. He works just like everybody else, and he has some people that he has to listen to. I don't care what anybody says. Satya Nadala's ambition is great. All right, Satya Nadala will tell you what he wants. I told you he wants the first biscuit and the last biscuit. He ain't playing. But let me get AKW in here before I get out of here.
What's the good, King? Happy birthday.
Blessings. I appreciate you. You know that.
Yeah. So with the layoffs, yes, layoffs is not good. And yeah, it's sad to see 9,000 people lost their jobs. Especially in these kind of economic times and crisis, it's not good. In terms of the studio closures, with the initiative, again, it's been what? How long now? 6 years since they've been working on that game. Didn't they bring Crystal Dynamic over to help with the game?
Yep. They brought in Jason, I forgot his last name, but the head over there that was at Bungie, multiplayer and all this other stuff. They did a whole bunch of things. They brought a bunch of people in, per diem work, contractors, all types of stuff. And for some reason, that game can't get it over the finish line.
Yeah, but the way they shown us that game, 2 years ago, I think it was?
Yep.
At E3?
Actually, 3 years ago, 2023, and then 2024. In 2024, they showed it last year.
Yeah, it looked like a finished product to me, or a playable product to me.
Then it must suck. Then it must be like the Perfect Dark reboot that we got that was on the Xbox One, I think it was. Or was it the 360? Whichever one. We had got a Perfect Dark reboot that wasn't from the original Rare code. And I didn't like that one as much, to be honest with you.
You know what I think?
Could it be also? Could it be also that everybody was clowning on the character's face, saying that it looked like a DEI hire, and maybe that also they had to. It doesn't really take too much to fix up some polygons and do some stuff here. So I'm just grasping at straws. I don't know why the game didn't ship. Be honest with you, I really wanted it to happen. That was just a shot in the dark, which was weak shot, to be honest with you.
I was looking forward to it. To be honest with you, the gameplay, what they shown us a few years back, it looks decent. It looks like it was something I could sink my teeth into, which I was looking forward to that game. But I'm thinking now, will they say, you know what, let's let Crystal Dynamics finish it? Depends on how far along it is in development.
I don't think so. I think Crystal Dynamics is on loan from Embracer Group. I think if this is to be true, right? Remember, I don't have concrete paperwork. When I have the concrete paperwork, a lot of this stuff is talked about. A lot of this stuff is people putting their spin on it. Sometimes you get something and say, okay, we took the initiative. Because, all right, give you another thing. They canceled 343 Studios. Yeah, that's true, right? Yeah. They got rid of 343 Studios, right? But what they turned the name into? Halo Studios, right?
Halo Studios, yeah.
Exactly. So is it factual that 343 is no longer in operation? Yes, it's factual. Is it also factual that Halo Studios is in operation? Yes. Is it a new studio? Yeah. Yes, because it has a new helm, new purple. They did a whole thing. So again, do I see them getting rid of this studio after they did all the stuff building up? I don't know what it turns into. I don't know if it turns into a support studio that's broken down into many other support studios. I don't know exactly what it turns into, but I know when we get the full details on everything, then we actually have operating knowledge of what's going forward. Right now, there's a lot of conversation being had. Right? On this day, it seems like everybody's trying to get the most information out to get their numbers up before this weekend. They try to run it up on everybody. You got Diddy supposedly off on 4 charges or something like that. You got stuff that's happening right now. I'm laughing at all of this stuff. Phil supposedly is going to step down after this console, which I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there's always fire. Right? And I'm not going to discount that at all. But my voice, my little diatribe that I had for him was, bring that ass over here, boy, pause. Get on Iron Lords like you're supposed to, so we can have this conversation with you for real. Because where others will dance around stuff and be fake and phony, I've been nothing but real and genuine with you, and we know that we'll handle everything with respect. But it's about giving you your flowers that nobody has. I don't care. Everybody show you go on wants to ask you some gotcha moment shit. Everybody wants to ask you and pigeonhole you. Well, after those 4 games that you said, none of that. It ain't about that. We done heard that already. Our conversations is different. Has always been different and will always be different. Ask Peter Moore. Ask the real OGs. Ask people that actually really shape things. No shot at Laura Fry. I understand you was there, but you was Robert Paxson to Michael Jordan. I was talking to Michael Jordan. You heard me? No shots. But I told you today's a day of reckoning. Shots will be fired. But I've been here a little bit too long, and I might get a little bit crazy. It's my birthday. But
before you go, King,
blessings.
I honestly feel like Phil will say the IOP for last, because it's been so, like, everybody went through the IOP. I believe Phil gonna say y'all for last at his buyout special moment.
I hope so. But I know now, I mean, because he was waiting for a DM from me. And I'm going to tell y'all really quickly, the DM that I was going to send him really had to do with Black Myth Wukong. Because I told him, I said, I wanted to talk to him there. And we was going to have that conversation because he told me a couple of things last time. He's like, yo, look out for this. And I didn't get a chance to talk to him last year. I talked to Sarah mostly. And now I got a chance to talk to Sarah mostly this year a lot. And I talked to Phil a couple of times when me and Jason Ronald was having a good talk about some stuff. What I don't want is for his story, his real story, not to be the story, right? And I really think his real story means a lot. And I think that's what's different between Iron Lords and everybody else. You know, we care about this industry as much as everybody else. But what we do care about is the people that shape the industry, people that form the industry, people that have galvanized our interest in every aspect. I would love to have Shohei on. I was so humble in my conversation with him because really don't speak too much English like that. He does speak English, not like that, not like me and him can have a great conversation. But I do want to have him on and pick his brains about other stuff. Our things are so real and human being, like our conversations. That's why our interviews are different. That's why I tell you, go watch our Alex Hutchinson interview, because I knew people was going to have a gotcha piece when they talked to him. We didn't. So go get a chance to see real interviewing, real humanizing when we talk to people, because a lot of times we deify people and we put them up so high, but they are human beings just like us. And they breathe and they go through stuff just like us. And y'all treat them so bad when it comes to this internet thing. Y'all are really vicious. And I just want y'all to just turn around real quickly, because I told somebody before, what would you do if your mom's was getting beat up in the street? And I want you to...
Everything stops. Mom's getting protected at all costs.
That part,
100%.
right? Right? So, again, this is going back to the each one, teach one. If you would never say these things to your mama, right? If you would never allow your mama to be beat down like this, what gives you carte blanche to be this evil and visceral in a manner to people that has done nothing specifically to you? But all they did was try to give you games. And I find the disconnect to be horrifying, Now, if you can talk to your mother like that, that means a whole lot more. And I don't think that you're built for the society, right? I think as a whole, society doesn't need you, right? Because I don't give a damn what that lady did. They still brought you here. They still got you to the big show, right? So whatever you felt you was entitled to, they could have left you right there after they delivered you. So that's a whole different conversation. But I want to tell you guys blessings. I appreciate each and every last one of you. We had 200 of y'all in here today on an impromptu early day talking about something that was horrifying to a lot of us Xbox gamers and a lot of workers across the world. 9,000 if the metrics is real, right? Percentages of studios being taken away, studio games being closed down. Some games might not ever make it to market. These things happen in the industry after they can tell you that they set record profits. But then at the end of the fiscal year, to ensure bonuses that will be carried out at the end of the calendar year, then they have to let go people that didn't make them agile enough. Agile enough to what? To get to the bonus? These are the questions that you will have to ask yourself. Are these companies that you want to follow? Are these the individuals that you want to continue to support? And that only you can answer those questions, right? But as a gamer, I want you to have that humility and that love for your fellow brother. We had a lot of people that came into the chat, and I told you, dance, monkey, dance, because that's all I see you as a monkey. When you show up here and you're doing some mindless primate, I understand. Because trust me, every dog has his day, and the ones that stand under the sun has two. And when I shit, I'm going to shit all over you.